whores and female whores. This is the 16th installment
Yes,
of
sir.
the Problematic Gentleman Podcast. I hope everybody has had
That's
a
what we
love.
need next. We need little buttons.
For real, little sound
button,
effect
little
joint.
sound
Yeah,
effect
they need the
joint.
mixer joint.
Donations.
Gifts.
Donations. Gifts.
We need those. We actually need to get the fucking
Cash App,
Cash App.
yeah.
We need all that shit.
Y'all.
You said that shit to my teeth right now.
Hey.
For real. It may or may not get to the proceeds of the podcast.
So they gonna be tricking on bitches.
You're gonna be
They
happy.
might like the plus side.
Setting the picture with the Miami filter, the boomerang.
In the pool with his joint like.
Them shits be hilarious, bro. But yeah, 16th installment. I hope everybody has had a very healthy, luxurious weekend. I don't know what y'all got into. Shit starting to open up. Yeah, you mean it's important. Health is key, bro.
Said a healthy, luxurious weekend. There you go, Black.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Trying to speak positivity into the air.
Now it's positive.
Any of y'all niggas get laid this weekend? Crickets.
Who? Nah, bro. I ain't had sex in 2021 yet, bro.
Hill. You lie. You serious?
Okay.
I mean, it's not wild. It's what, 20 days?
Yeah, I'm about to say it's that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. What today like this? I don't know.
18, some shit.
Some shit.
Nah, yeah, because they were Luther King.
It's the 17th.
Yeah. So, yeah. Man, that's not too bad. I see what you're saying. I don't know why I should feel like it's February. But, we got two topics for y'all motherfuckers going on today, as we always did know.
As usual.
So, fellas, let's get straight to the shit. Y'all already know how we give it up. Give it up foul. Direct to the point. This first topic that we got going on today, it's a funny one. I just think about the actual term and I laugh. Open relationships. Open relationships.
That's crazy.
Like you gotta act like you don't know what's going on.
I don't run that game at all.
Of course, I mean I'm pretty sure all three of us at this table don't, but it is a very prominent way of life in the dating realm.
That's the problem with being around. This
Yeah.
shit is real.
Yeah.
It worked for some folks.
No, it's not.
Oh, we about to discuss it. I'm about to say that.
Man,
Okay.
don't work for me. He anxious. He eager today.
Right, he really
He a spicy one.
I'm on 10 today, for sure.
He is spicy, man.
I'm on 10
But
today.
first question that started off, fellas. If the stars were to align correctly and the galaxies and the universe is somehow just
They wouldn't.
all connected in a way that you needed it to,
No.
would you ever entertain the idea of an open relationship? Take the floor.
Y'all seen Captain America or Doctor Strange was frozen and all the different motherfucking possibilities? Yeah, no. There's no possibility where I'm with this shit. No.
You gonna expound? You gonna explain yourself?
Cause I don't.
It gotta be deeper than just a
because
no.
I don't believe in open relationships, bro. Like there's nothing that can be open with my relationship.
So you speaking, but that's the thing about it, you gotta understand. You speaking at it, you only speaking at it from a point of an individual, right? Yourself. But generally speaking, can you see why it might be healthier? It might work for somebody.
Honestly, no.
Really?
I don't really see like a relationship with two people. We just gonna keep this shit. We can do it. What we can do, we want on the side and still be together, and that shit gonna be healthy. Like no, I don't see how that works. Now, if it does, like if people make it work, I understand it. But me personally, even with the stars aligned, that perfect universe, no.
Fuck it.
Hell no. You might as well be single.
This is true. I mean, obviously, that's
Like,
I feel like, in my personal opinion, I think that that's one of the easiest ways to answer anything that has to do with open relationships. Because I agree, you might as well be single. But a lot of motherfuckers that, indulge into that type of shit and get into that type of shit will explain to you why they don't think so. And they'll give good, valid points. So I wanted to get your input on that. What you think, dude? How you feeling about that player?
I'm going
From the
to
Himalayas?
I'm going to be the only dick in the dynamic ever. In whatever venture I'm in with a woman. I'm the only dick in the dynamic. And even still, it ain't, you go out there and fuck another female. No. If another female's introduced, we're thrashing this bitch together. You will not be out there isolated with bitch. No, you're not going to be out there by yourself. Because I remember I had a conversation with a chick a long time ago. Like, not a long time ago, a couple months back. It was like, I told her, like, if I'm in a relationship with you, don't kiss no bitch. Like, don't play with your friends like that.
Ooh,
I don't.
You that deep with it?
If you-
Pause.
Yeah, don't kiss no other bitch. Like, all that drunk shit, no. I better be there for it, and you better look. I better be having parts. Because to me, anything you do sexual with another person is cheating to me.
I think that's a very interesting talking point because I think it can vary between.
That's true. That's true. It's like, I get it, but it's like one in that regard, and like I understand like a peck on the cheek or something like that. I'm not being wild, but
your girl can't kiss a girl.
Not make out with her if I'm not there. No.
Like not even like one of them woodpeck joints.
What you mean? Like what sense is this?
Like if my girl is at a party
Okay.
with like these my best friends and they kiss, I'm not mad at her.
I'm not saying I'm mad at her, but like I'm gonna let it be known from Jump Street. One, I'm gonna find out if you down for that from talking to you. Like in the talking stage, don't get to know you. So I'm gonna be like, oh, do you get down like that or no? And you're gonna know if you're my girl, that shit's not happening. Because to me, anything you do sexual with another person is cheating. Anything you do sexual.
I feel like I see where you're coming from, and I understand the points behind why you would say that. With that in particular, I'm not as stern. I look at it like, all right, we know that the preference.
So I can kiss hoes, right? So I can kiss hoes?
Yeah, see.
I'm asking a question.
But you're shooting for the extreme.
I'm not saying wild shit, but if you're saying
you can kiss men, nigga.
I'm not with that gay shit at all. Understand this. Ain't nobody got shit going on around this parts.
That's gonna be the context. You can't be like, am I gonna kiss hoes? But
she's not kissing the nigga.
Okay. But why? She's doing something sexual with another person. I said with another person. But not even just straight woman or man. I said anything she does sexual with another person.
Right, but you see where you took it like, you ain't say it. It went from,
I can't kiss
it went from another person to, I can't kiss another girl while I'm with you.
No, in the same context, she's kissing a girl. Just a peck on the lip.
Yeah, but it's the same sex. As much as you might want to, I understand where you're coming from, but if you want to regard that as being still the equivalent of cheating, which I get,
but I never put it on one person. I never put it on the sex. I said with people. You're not doing anything sexual.
But you said hoe.
You said hoe. You said you
so
kissing another chick.
I said you're not doing anything sexual with another person.
But in a scenario, the example which you gave, you spoke to your girl kissing a chick, and then we was talking about it, and I was saying I'm not as stern with that specifically, and then you was like, so I can kiss another nigga?
If we can just focus on another, if we just want to focus on a woman, no, you can't kiss another woman. No.
But your no is because you think it's cheating.
My no is because it's disrespecting me. If I'm telling you don't do it, if I'm saying don't kiss another person,
I think
that.
I think
and if you
yay
fight
or
me
nay,
on that, and if you're fighting me on that, that lets me.
I think the yay or nay in that scenario goes against the context. If they at a, like you said, it's at a club or not even a club party, they hanging out with their girlfriends or whatever, and they do that shit or whatever. Like me personally,
that's you.
For me personally, I look at it like, for some reason that strikes curiosity in me.
Exactly.
Because it's like, I feel like, okay, is there a little bit more that I should be trying to dig into with you?
But that's why I said that. Are we bringing this back? Are we about to thrash this bitch together? No, then leave it the fuck alone.
But that's the only part we differ. Because like, even if it's not that, and I know that they just did that on some playful shit, and that's not of her interest. Like, she's like, I don't really want to fuck with women in that regard. Right. And it's like, alright, bitch, I don't give a fuck. But I guess it's different when it's the opposite sex, because that's what we all go for. We all straight. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So in that scenario, if it's a dude, it's a big problem. You already know that, but you're not going to ever see my face again.
Exactly.
But for some reason, for me personally, I guess that I have more of a comfort level with it if it is a female. It don't really bother me too much. But for me, going on to the question, I feel
I just want to it don't bother me, but I'm saying,
nigga, yes it do.
I'm saying if it don't,
it bothers me.
It's not bothering me. If I'm saying don't do this, or I don't appreciate it if you do this, and you do it, that's disrespect. It's not bothering. I'm saying if you're going across,
but it bothers you enough.
If it crosses a boundary that we set, and you do that, then it's like I don't need to deal with you. It's not a matter of it bothering me, but if we're setting boundaries and you cross that boundary,
but it has to bother you if it's a boundary, nigga. You can't just, you're trying to be like, I don't want it to come off like I'm being sensitive about it, but to a degree, it's okay that you are, because that's a preference that you prefer not to occur. But that would be looked upon as you being like bothered by it.
No, but I can tell you I'm not bothered by it, because if it's going in a way where it's like, oh, you're doing this so you can bring this broad back so we can get with her, that's not a problem. But if you're just doing it specifically with no end, then that's a problem.
For example, it bothers me if my girl fucks with another nigga. That's something that I don't like. That's my preference. But it's because I don't like it. You don't like her.
But it doesn't bother me if it's leading to the fact of you bringing her back here. Then it doesn't bother me.
But it's another end of it that does bother you.
We're not talking about.
But I'm telling you that the way in that scenario that it's okay for me and my dynamic.
It doesn't bother you, but it does bother you if the context of it.
Okay, so if you want to live by it bothering me because she doesn't, because it stops with just that, then fine, it can bother me.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, there's a dynamic where it doesn't if it has this type of end. But if you want to live on, okay, it bothers you here, that's why I don't. It is what it is.
I don't know. I said
For
that.
example, what you're saying is you don't want your girl kissing girls if you're not there. So you're cool with it if you're there, you finna get some. But if you're not getting none, you don't want her getting some.
And I'm not pressed because that's not enough. I've never pressed a bra for a threesome. I've never had no threesome. What? What the fuck is
Nigga
that?
be ripping the joint off the water bottle just to play with the plastic piece. Nigga,
This
damn.
nigga's high.
But what you say to me, go ahead.
What was I saying?
Be like, I'm just saying the opposite of what
Yeah,
y'all saying.
because what you did, because I was about to end the conversation, and then when you noticed that I said that us two wasn't bothered, I think he was like, I don't like that them niggas not bothered by it.
We
Not
hold
bothered by it.
we hold each other
That's what he did.
and we on that bullshit. This is what we want y'all to
Because I was
see.
about to continue the convo, and you
But
saw
you
that
said-
we both was like, we not bothered by it, but you were. You was like, just to let you know I'm not bothered by shit.
I see that y'all not bothered by it, so I'm bothered. That's not what it is. Y'all preference is y'all preference. Y'all can like and do what y'all like. That has no bearing on how I go about
But
it.
the only reason why you felt the need to respond to bothersome in general was because two niggas at the table said it wasn't bothered. You didn't want to be coming up. You literally said, I don't want to come off as if I'm bothered by this. But it was like, nobody. No, I'm saying I'm not bothered by the fact that the chick is kissing the chick. I don't really give a fuck. And then I think you was like, I'm not bothered by it
I'm
though.
saying in the context if we're setting a boundary. If I'm saying, yo, is this what you want? Well, I'm not really with that. That's the boundary that we're setting. So you know, if we're,
Why aren't you with it?
because I'm just not with it. If it's not
Exactly. That's why we say, because if it's something you're not with, if it happens, that is something that's going to bother
Yeah,
you.
it's perfectly fine to say. I think you take
I
it
got
sensitive
things,
like
I got
no
things
shit.
that bother me in relationships. This is something that would bother you.
maybe I'm just looking at it from a sense of if it's a boundary, it's crossing a boundary.
It's
that's
that
something
tourist
I'm-
shit coming into play right now. I told you.
I'm just
But
not
yo, the funny thing about
Jordan.
Jordan, we can go and we can get past that.
No,
way
we're
down.
talking about
But the
this
thing
thing
about
about-
Jordan is he's still with me up until about 3 months ago until he let a bunch of bros talk him into moon, stars, and quasars and water signs.
The moment
We always
listen,
sat there and laughed at bros. We laughed at our
I'll
homies
let you
who are into
finish.
that.
I'll
We
let
laughed,
you
we
finish.
laughed at our homies male homies that are into that. What's the star shit called?
like the astrology.
Astrology.
shit.
We've
Yeah.
laughed at other grown men who are into that
We
shit.
definitely had. The only you done?
Yeah.
The moment, because this entire time we didn't care for it so much that I did not know his sign. The moment
I know my sign.
that I never asked you, so I didn't know. The moment that it was discussed as to what he was, and I heard the word Taurus come out that man's mouth, I was like,
What's your
that
sign?
explains a lot. Libra.
Does it play anything to what you do?
Very much so, because what's big on us is the idea of balance, and I'm big on that shit. Too much, to a point, to a fault. I admit that. I think that I am.
And I want to say the only reason that shit doesn't make sense to me because it's predicated a lot on emotions or traits, and you may be angry or you're stubborn or you're frugal or whatever. But those are traits that a lot of other people can have.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, there's only but so many traits that you can have, so a lot of them are going to share those kind of traits and those kind of like consistencies. That's the case. But I do think in certain parts when you delve deep into it, I've learned a lot of what like occurs in me and on my daily basis and who I am as a person does connect to what a Libra man does. I've seen that shit. Same thing with my ex, she was a Scorpio. A lot of the shit she was doing day in and day out and how she carried herself connected to a Scorpio woman.
So when did this connect?
I'm still learning about the Taurus women because I'm talking about
Right, cool. When did this connect for you though? Because we were staunch on that shit is all goofy.
The moment that the shorty had asked you your sign, I didn't know your sign this whole time. We was joking about it, and then when you told me, I was like, that explains so much shit about my nigga that I did not know.
It was funny because she was like, this. What are you? You was like, tourist. And exactly what she explained about, before she even knew, it was like, it's me.
It was that. That's why everybody looked at each other in the room and was like, okay, now it makes sense. And then you was like, what that mean though? What that mean though?
Because I know niggas who are just as stubborn as me that aren't Taurus.
I mean, of course, it's always.
So are you with that shit
I-
like now it's like you teeter? What you are you
No.
special? I'm asking this nigga. Cause
But I don't believe in it. But just because I don't believe in it doesn't mean what exactly was said about you was right.
oh, of course, I'm a stubborn person. I don't deny that.
But when you say other niggas that's just as stubborn as you that aren't Tauruses, we can be 100% correct. I agree with you. Like I said, there's only but so many traits a person can share with other people anyway. So a lot of that shit is going to seem repetitive naturally. But there are certain things that are like standout traits of a personality. Taurus men are known to be stubborn, hard-headed, and frugal and smart with their bread. I was like, that's Brandon to a motherfucking T, nigga. Like, you look, I'm just telling you what I know, play. That's all I know.
You telling me what you believe. Cool for all the water signs and moon and stars.
Yeah, no one believes the same thing. I know for myself.
Okay.
Is there a difference between know and believe? If you know something for yourself and what you believe it, you know it.
No, you were saying no, like what you know from me in regards to my sign. And
No, I was speaking of what I know, like what I know about astrology.
You internalize astrology, like you.
Yeah, to a degree. I'm not gonna say that I dumped that. I'm jumping that deep into where chicks be like, get the time of your birth and your mom. Like I need to figure that out.
If you subscribe to that, I can't knock you. That. If you subscribe to it, I can't knock you. I'm gonna laugh because it's funny to me, but that's what it is.
You gonna have the last word, player?
No, I don't need it.
You just had it.
Oh, you said, do I need the last word? I was like,
This nigga, I don't need the last word. Oh, them niggas ain't bothered by this. I let y'all know I'm not bothered by either, y'all. Damn, nigga.
It's just I don't prep.
I didn't even answer the first question, so get back to the
get your shit off, black man.
Get into the this shit is hilarious. We went on a crazy tangent with that. But get into the question back to what I was saying with this open relationship shit. What the fuck was the question? God damn, nigga.
That was his fault.
Never see yourself. Oh yeah. No, me personally, I could not ever see myself in an open relationship. It's not something that I would ever consider. I think that it's not the greatest of ideas for somebody like me. I will admit, and I will say that I know that works. The open relationship works for other people. I've seen it work efficiently for other people. Heard about it at least.
Yeah.
Not like a direct connection with it, but I've heard about it. And I do think about it depends on how you look at personality and how you look at kind of what somebody being faithful means to you. Because the idea of being faithful and connected, and I'm very big on monogamy. I need to be with one person if I'm going to invest myself into a relationship. Because I feel as though I'm being robbed of something if I decide to, do that poly shit where I got all these other motherfuckers in play. I feel like I'm being robbed of something. Even though the bitch might be way more.
Understanding?
Yes. Even if like she lets it be known my emotion connection lies with you, it resides with you. It doesn't mean anything because you're giving your body up. We're not about to try to differentiate the idea of a physical connection.
I'm just getting slayed by 30 other dudes, but I love you.
Yeah, that shit don't sound right. We about to not try to separate the two so much to where they don't align, because they do to a degree. They're different, but they do. So I don't want to be the nigga that you physically cool with and you deeply emotionally connected with, but the other niggas get the same physical connection with you, and I'm not doing that.
And they have to put in the work for real.
At all.
Work getting in to the point where she's on this shit. And I didn't answer the part of that question where you was like, do you see why other people do it? I can see why other people are in open relationships because I'm a proponent of what works for other people, works for other people.
Yeah, we talk about it.
I don't blanket like, that's all across the board. Nah, if you and your partner is cool with that, rock out.
I mean, so speaking on that, to piggyback on that first question, essentially, speaking from a general standpoint, take yourself outside yourself with this one. Don't really speak directly to who you are and what you believe in for yourself. But what would you say truly is the point of an open relationship then, with that being the case?
The point? I don't fucking know, because I'm not in one. I don't see myself being in one. Fuck that. I'm not in one. I don't see what the point is. I mean, for other people, I guess it's like, maybe they just are so sexually, they need sex from other partners. Maybe. That's the only really
that's a talking point.
That's the only other reason I can really speak to it, because it's like you're cool with the one emotional connection and you only want one emotional connection, but you feel the need to be with multiple partners.
Who's there to say that they only have one emotional connection?
I'm saying if that's what they're saying. If they are saying, I only have one emotional connection, but I would like to have sex with other people. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because they can have, if they're saying they're in the dynamic where they want multiple emotional connections, that is what it is.
But what you just said is like the basis. I think that's a typical blueprint. That's a blueprint of
open relationship.
Yeah.
We have one emotional connection here between me and you. And then it's like whoever else we fuck, that's just who we fuck, and that's strictly what it is with no emotion attached.
Right.
I can see people wanting to do that if that's what they're into. The point only I can see is like if you just need to fuck other people. If you just grow tired or you want something new or you want another body in the dynamic, that's the only reason I can see it, because why else?
And I think that's, honestly, if you had to give out a short list of the top reasons behind why open relationships occur, pretty sure that one's high on the list, because a lot of motherfuckers, which I do think the fucked up part of that can come off as if it's just an excuse to have sex with other people, but some people are just sexually charged in a way where they might love one person and want to build and grow old with that one person, but still feel as though they can't be tamed to just one person sexually. I don't like the idea of that, but I can see why people would look at it that way. What about you, Mike? What you got for that?
This shit is funny. You said what?
What's the antidote?
But I think it would be more than just fucking. I feel like a lot of times we focus too much on just sex. Like there's so many aspects in a relationship where it's not like, I'm in an open relationship just so I can fuck other people. It could be I'm in a open relationship because I care about this person, but I just want to be able to do my own thing as far as who I see, who I be around, who I hang out with. Because in most relationships, when you're with someone, you are just with that person emotionally,
Yeah.
spiritually, physically. When you just chill in the crib, you might, I want to go do something, I want to go out. So it could be the aspect of, I like this person, I'm just fucking this person, but I still want to be able to do what I want to do. I want to be able to do other things. I want to be able to go out and be around some hoes. I want to be able to talk to multiple people. I love conversation, or I'm engaged in conversation. I feel like some open relationships in the aspects of like emotional, being around other people, shit, it could be, I'm finna be with you, but I'm staying with her the next night, or this and this.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't even focus that much on the sex. Because an open relationship, if you fucking one person, what's to say like I'm gonna just be single and fuck other hoes? I feel like it's something deeper than just sex for open relationships.
And honestly, I'm happy you said that, because my answer to that question would specifically say, it would be that I think individuals want to kind of still have that selfish part of their life that they would once have once they were single, but also still share a great connection with somebody that has, an actual emotional relationship you building upon something. If you only focus on yourself in a selfish way, where it's all about me, what I want at the moment I want it, you can't really ever have a successful relationship, because with relationships come compromise. So if you're not capable of doing that, then you're not going to have a successful one. The thing about it is, with an open relationship, it allows you that avenue and that route to still take to focus on yourself, key in as if you're the only one existing in your own world. It's like I would say to a degree, it's an escape. You don't want to leave that person behind completely in the dust, but I think some people look at it as like, it's a treat for me to be like, all right, we going through our things. We have our ups and downs like every other relationship, but I had my point of escape where I'm back in the streets essentially, and I'm just a single motherfucker.
Right.
And I also get the other part of the treat from it being the fact that I don't even have to concern myself with the emotional connection that could come from dating other motherfuckers when I play my single role. Because we all know for a fact, as males specifically, we deal with a lot of emotional connections and bitches being upset about things not going their way with their emotions with us, whereas men, you don't really care for that as much. A motherfucker in a while that's, in an open relationship, they got whoever they got waiting for them back at the crib. They could go to the club and flame out and not have a good night. I don't know. I'm about to go back to my chick.
Right.
I think that's why I think it's very. I don't want to come off as insensitive to why people do it, but I feel as though it's a selfish act. I just think that.
I was just gonna say it's like a topic for me that's hard to really grasp because I'm so against it.
Mm-hmm.
Why you say you're against it?
Because me personally, just how I feel about open relationships, I feel like that's a word to just say I want to be able to do what I want.
You think it's like somebody trying to keep one foot in the street and one foot in the house?
Not even.
I think partly.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's like that because it's other ways you can go around that than saying I'm being an open relationship.
Which is what? Being single?
You can stay in the talking stage to keep one foot in the game and out. You don't even have to go as far as saying, let's be together if I want to keep one foot in the streets and one foot out.
But that other person's going to want commitment at some point.
At some point.
It is.
You can't be like, I'm going to be in talking stage purgatory.
It is, but that jump to like an open relationship, I don't even think most of them is like, if you would talk to some relationship, it's like, yeah, I got one foot in the streets and one foot out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But what B said, that's extremely direct and to the point because we know subconsciously that's what they think. You verbalize that. If they're in an open relationship and they decide to verbalize that sounds terrible. You're not going to say that because it sounds terrible, but it's the fucking truth.
Because nobody's going to be like, well, let's just stay in the talking stage forever. Nobody's
going
for that.
Either it be the female or the male. Somebody's going to get deeply connected to a point where it's like, so what the fuck is me?
And then it's like, if you stay in the talking stage, a motherfucker get swept by somebody else.
And then now you out on a bitch that you might really like.
You can be in an open relationship and it gets swept by somebody else.
But the understanding going into it is that it could happen.
Yeah.
It couldn't happen. I do see what you're saying because, like you said, we both had this agreement. Like we about to not take it there.
But other people in committed relationships get swept by somebody else. You can always get swept by somebody else. But the thing is, like, if we're in an open relationship, there's an understanding like, yeah, we gonna fuck other people, but the mental and the emotional stays between us.
Mm-hmm.
Like all that.
I don't think that's an open relationship.
But that's what that is.
What you mean when you say that though?
Like he said, we're gonna fuck other people, but the emotional is gonna stay between us two. Open relationships aren't just like that. If we're focusing on an open relationship where we only just fuck other people, I don't think that would be an open relationship.
But there are people in open relationships that have those dynamics that tell you they're in an open relationship.
I honestly think that's the blueprint and the basis and the typical backbone of an open relationship.
Yeah,
where it's
I
like
fuck other people.
we
Yes.
we have the freedom to move how we want to move
Swingers,
physically.
bro? That's what
Yes,
swingers is
we
like.
have the freedom to move how we want to move physically, but emotions only connected
We're
within
probably
this relationship.
they're two married people, bro. You be on these dating apps, it's always a bitch in a relationship, but I'm swinging or whatever the fuck.
I never matched with them, and I would swipe
don't
right.
know that.
I would swipe right to see if it would connect.
Cause some of them bitches be like, my husband got watched though. Fuck that.
Now some of them motherfuckers will also be like, he got partake. I'm really swiping left.
That nigga gotta get his knife put in his
Because you really, I hope y'all niggas that like is 100% straight and only go amongst the straight arrow. No, if you get yourself in no type of situation, because I think what people take it as, if you come across that, you would take it as like, oh, he's only going to be able to partake in like a DP kind of way, where it's just like us all fucking the chick.
Huh?
Some of them niggas might get a little bi curious, like, what's up with you don't play?
Whoa, what?
You know what I'm saying, nigga? It's the way it works. I like to have these kind of like you said, it's hard to grasp this kind of topic, but it's important to have these kind of discussions because this is out of our realm. This is not what we deal with on a daily basis. But just because we don't deal with it doesn't mean that it's not prominent in the dating realm. Like, and that's why you gotta kind of look at that type of shit. I just feel as though I know for a fact it wouldn't work for me. I see why motherfuckers do it. I understand the point behind it, but it's just like, it's different strokes for different folks. Really, on this one, that's the way to just end that conversation specifically because it's
But
like
the people that do it are in it and it works for them. So it's not even like a point of contention to try to figure. It's nothing for somebody who isn't in it to figure it out. Now, obviously, we're talking about this. It's a subject we're talking about. We're going to talk about it. But it's like for someone outside looking in, it's not for us to understand all the way. It's
hell no.
Those people, it works for those people, bro. That's their setup. That's their dynamic. That's their understanding. So they're gonna do what they fucking want to do.
Yeah, I think it's more so to have a healthy understanding as to why it would occur. Because some motherfuckers can hear certain things. One thing I don't like about dating, the different aspects of it, because we're so kind of like, we're wired to just believe what we want to believe. We'll hear something and be like, well, I don't think that's just cool. That's fine to say, but it's like, all right, can you get the full context behind why it might occur and why it might work for other people, and then make a judgment call? Because at that point, it's like, oh, it's still not for me, but I get why y'all motherfuckers do it. It's a different level of understanding, is what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying? So that's kind of just how I look at it. But getting into this other question here with this one, and I'm kind of curious on this because I do think, depending on how you answer, it's funny how we work as men. But what would you say when dealing with a woman who might be in an open relationship? Would you be open to entertaining something with a female that's in an open relationship?
Like
you the nigga on the outside.
You the new.
Got nothing to do with me. I don't give a fuck about him. She doesn't give a fuck about him.
That's why she don't give a fuck about
She
it.
obviously doesn't. She wants to fuck with other niggas while she with
There's
him.
an emotional connection there.
That you never gonna see that he gonna continue to see, which I don't think
Whether you
care
believe
for.
it or not, she can still have an emotional connection and you be a prospect in a physical way.
Yeah, you just be a piece of meat, but she go home to the butcher nest that she owns with a nigga.
What about the niggas she connects emotionally with outside of him?
I'm not saying that can occur, but they have an understanding that won't occur. So most motherfuckers.
So are we talking about open relationships just with fucking?
What you mean?
Because I feel
That's what
like
he's saying.
the aspect of an open relationship, we just talking about sex. Like I feel like
Yeah, there are situations
If I'm like, yeah,
where it's
my girl
multiple
go
emotional
out,
connections.
she fucking a nigga, but she stay over there, sleep with him, and cuddle and open up to him too. Yes, I can do that. That's a side nigga.
But what I'm saying, you're right. There's all kind of aspects to an open relationship. You feel free to speak how you want to speak to whichever topic and how whatever subtopic. But what I'm saying is like, in most scenarios, regardless of what we speaking on being like kind of like the minority or the majority, we all do know that the point of it, the main point of it, is to still do what you want to do, but still have that. Because like you said, if there wasn't that point there, you just be single and be in the streets doing what you want to do. So it's like I still want to have this connection with this great person that I fell in love with or whatever, but I still also want to have the part of me that allows me to run free and not feel as though I'm tamed within a relationship. A lot of times in that situation, is going to occur if the man and the female not having too deep of an emotional connection. You can still go stay even motherfuckers that don't want no emotional connection with the outside party, they go over there and get fucked and stay the night and leave in the morning or whatever. They might go out and get dinner or get breakfast in the morning or whatever, but they still gonna go back to their man. They know how to cap. If there's an emotional connection, they know how to cap.
I think what Mike is talking about is that polyamorous shit. Polyamorous is, from my understanding, where you have multiple emotional connections. Cause I
Yeah,
watched
that's
True Life.
you're right.
That True Life on TV.
That's
It
multiple
was like-
relationships.
Right, but it was like I'm in a polyamorous relationship where it's like one broad, and then she has multiple emotional connections with like 3-4 dudes.
Yeah,
That's
it runs
probably
deeper
yours,
than
like,
just physical.
Even in my scenario, this is the girl I'm with. I care about her, whatever. I love her.
Mhm.
but I'm open to go fuck with this bitch. I want to go kick it with this bitch and go out to dinner, whatever the case may be. All of these are open relationships.
Okay, so getting back to the question specifically, you just said
if I'm a nigga, she like, yeah, I'm in an open relationship. I am for sure with all that, cause I don't care about him at all.
I mean, as you should. I wouldn't expect you to really give a fuck about homie.
Because remember I said I fuck with a married woman.
I would too.
So if I fuck a married woman, you know somebody come and talk about an open relationship. I'm for sure on board.
What about you, Vic? I know where you're coming from.
For sure.
If she already has a relationship, she's with her husband, and she has an open relationship where she's just looking for exclusive physical, I'm with that. I could be that for her. I could be your physical shorty. So it's like
emotional.
I'm not doing all that. I'll be your physical. Like, I'm not being emotional while you going home getting slaved by your husband too. That's
what I'm saying.
Like,
open up to me, baby. Yeah, fuck that nigga.
Right. But you still fucking and sucking that nigga dick.
My girl.
I understand that.
That's his girl.
That's true, but whatever. What I'm saying is, I can deal with a woman like that in a physical way, and I can cap, like I said, we know how to go into emotions or situation with bros and cap how we feel about them. So I can go into that situation while she's still with her husband, but she still wants some physical, and cap her emotions. And cap my emotions like, all right, this will just be a physical, and it'll never exceed that. Because I know what she has already, and like that I can deal with that situation as long as I feel like dealing with it until I find somebody I really want to fuck with.
See, I guess it's funny that you brought up the whole marriage aspect of it, Mike, that we talked about on a previous episode, because I think that the outline of this response is the exact same way it was where y'all two said y'all would be open to fucking a chick that's in a marriage. I mean, that is married. And then I was like, nah, I'm off of that. The same thing applies to this open relationship shit. Because I look at it like, I want the full freedom to make the decision as to if I ever want to take you serious, if I want to invest a little bit more than just the physicality point of it. I want the freedom. I called the shot there. That's why I also shot down the idea of being with a married bitch, because I might go into the situation with the chick that's in an open relationship that got me capped off emotionally, just looking to fuck.
Love ass nigga.
Real nigga shit. That's the way it works.
My question is like, what if she's like, you 29? What if she's like 50? So it's like, but she's listen, she's 50 and. So you're gonna tell me you want to have this like subsector where it's like, well, potentially maybe I may catch feelings, so you're gonna catch feelings for a bitch that's 50?
Once again, I think with that specifically, in my opinion, that's a bit extreme because I'm not looking to ever cuff up on a 50 bitch.
I'm saying, but I only said that because you said you want to be able to have full control of wherever you take that next step. I'm saying
I'm not gonna ever do anything more than just fuck a 50-year-old.
That's what I'm saying. Well, if that's the case, then that's the case.
Yeah, because
the context I feel like to that is crazy. Like I feel like when he said. He's saying around females that he's gonna be interested in.
There's exactly 50-year-olds out here.
But I would never cuff up on one. You would never.
No, I wouldn't. But again, that's why I asked, because you said you would only go into a situation. You don't want to entertain those situations because you want to be able to call the shots where you can change the dynamic of that, as far as like taking it to another step.
Yeah.
So if it's a 50-year-old broad and she's married, well, you already said you wouldn't do the married thing. So it's like
I think even if she was single, I think I would still fuck her if she was single and it was just us knowing that we gonna only be physical. Because in my opinion, I know for a fact, for once she's single, she's 50.
Right.
If I'm 29 and she's 50 years old, there's nothing, unless she's rich. If she's rich, then it might be
that's different.
I might be like, I'm gonna wait for that bitch to die.
But that's what I was getting at. It's like if she's single, well, not she's single, if she's not married, but she has a relationship and she's 50, you're cool with fucking with that. Because you know it'll never go past physical. Because
like you said, so you're saying like if she's in a relationship, not even just married, but she's in a relationship, and then she's 50, and then she just wants something physical, would I be like open to the idea of that?
Yes.
I would more so. Yeah, that's actually a good point to look at because I never looked at it that way when I was answering that question initially. I would with that, but like you said,
because you know it's a means to, and you know you never invest anything with a 50-year-old boy as opposed to John who might be 31,
right,
or 25.
Where I can somebody that I can actively date.
Yeah, you may catch feelings because. We're subject to catching feelings, man.
Yeah, this nigga over here where I can't fall in love with.
I'm just saying, if you go into a situation with a John, with a nigga,
I
like, yeah, we bugging, and it's been 2 months, and then you like, yeah.
But that's why I'm saying, I feel
I'm going to slide on the first time they do the Maxwell.
But that's why I said that. But that's why I said the same thing with the marriage shit. That's why I avoid that scenario completely because I know me well enough to know I might, if I openly go to the bitch and knowing that we just on some physical shit. But we both available. We both available to be more than just a physical thing and be emotional. There's a chance that I call the shot to be emotional with that bitch and have a connection. It could go from a slide to being a personal if I want to call that shot. Whereas if I know for a fact that this bitch is capped off because she's connected in some sort of relationship that's open with some other nigga, I can go fuck a bitch that got pussy just as good as you, if not better, that's available for whatever I want her to be available for. I look at it, y'all laugh at it, but I look at it as me just being able to clearly call the shot that I want to call regardless of the situation.
Some bitches will call you controlling.
No, you're right. I think, and I honestly do think that some women would say that, but I also think that that's a way to detract from the fact of me having full control over what I want to do. Because like, you know how bitches give it up. When you speak to something that opposes their thought process, all of a sudden you're the worst man on the planet. Yeah, that bullshit. Like we discussed earlier. So you mad all of a sudden. You in your feelings. You insecure. Okay, I'll be that. That means
if that's what you're saying it, that just means you're saying okay, I'll do that.
I'll be that. But yeah, I see where y'all coming from with that. Like I said, it's literally the same outlook that we had upon that marriage shit. Like I'm still stout on that. I mean, stout on that too. Like I
don't want to be with no girl in a relationship. I might fall for it.
Bro, you said relationship different.
She married. I might fall for it. Get on my
that piece of paper don't mean.
Jerry gonna take a nigga wife and marry her. Like, yeah.
You're gonna call me out. Why you ain't answer my text? You're like, nigga, I'm married.
But that's the thing.
He had to do it like, baby.
It's funny as hell, but that's
the radio outside like, come on, say it though. Like,
that's what I'm saying. If I know that I might want to take it there with whatever bitch I'm talking to, why am I going to put myself in a position where that's dangerous?
And I don't get that. You can't be a side nigga then. Not that you can't. But you wouldn't like the idea
because he can't elevate. He can't elevate.
You can't stay at that side.
I'm put it like this. I would be open to that occurring. Like I've done it before and it didn't mean much to me. But like you said,
you gave that whole story.
Yeah. But like you were saying, in the same sense, because I know that there's a cap to it, I lose interest in the scenario simply because of that. Right. Like I know for a fact, it's bitches that I've just slid in my life that I had no interest in making more. But I was like, if I didn't have full control of that going into it, I might never have sex with her. Because it's like, well, I don't really get to do with you what I wanted to do with you. You feel what I'm saying? It does, like you said, I can see why a chick would hear this and be like, well, he's controlling. I think that's me controlling my own destiny. That's cool if you want to say that.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I know you do.
But women will be like, when you're controlling because you want to own every aspect of that, it's just like, all right, like, yeah, okay, I'm
not going to have a hard time falling asleep at night hearing that. Because I know, you got to know when chicks are just saying some shit because they don't like that you got the control over things that they don't have the control over. At the end of the day, like you said on a prior episode, bitches talking about, that was a bitch mad that a nigga controls the idea and the narrative as to when he makes a girl his girlfriend. So she thought that it made sense to go on social media and tell people, hey, maybe we should start telling niggas to tell us, to ask us to be their girlfriends before saying, like, what? Like, no. What? Can I be your boyfriend? Rather than me saying, will you be my girl?
Exactly.
Power dynamic. Power dynamic is so important that you want to change the verbiage.
Sorry you don't get to have that. Sorry you don't get to, like, regulate when you get married and all this shit. Sorry, that sucks to be you. Sucks to be you.
Look, I can't. God decided to give me a penis and then gave me to my mama. So I'm sorry that worked that way for me. I guess.
Again, lady, you wouldn't have these pseudo penises. Like,
facts.
Sorry.
So get into this third question, I believe. Like B said, get into the 97th question. With this topic, because he just brought up, females wanting to do things and try to take advantage and make it a power trip kind of aspect. This third question kind of plays into that part. Fellas, do you feel as though this open relationship shit favors one sex more than the other?
No.
Really? Expound.
If we want to talk about certain people's dynamics or what people are doing in a relationship, but if we're going to talk about what an open relationship is, the male and the female has the same opportunities to do the same shit. Now we're going to talk about who actually takes advantage of it more. Probably a guy, because because a guy, it's easier for, like you said, if we talking about sex, it's easier for a guy to be like, I'm in an open relationship with my girl, I'm gonna just fuck other hoes.
But it's easier for a girl to get dick than it is for a guy.
That's what I'm saying. You lose me on that.
If I'm in an open relationship with a girl, a guy will try to get pussy first before a female will be like, I'm in an open relationship with my boy, but I'm gonna just go fuck this other nigga though.
Yeah, of course. But he would shoot his shot before she even needs to explain herself. Like the homie, the nigga that the bitch is dealing with, and if she don't even care to deal with, he's going to shoot his shot before she even has an opportunity to tell you, hey, I'm in an open relationship. Whereas with men, I think, to kind of to get my answer while you get your answer on that, I feel as though this extreme, like to an extreme, favors the idea of a female. Because if we just speaking two single motherfuckers, a single man and a single female, it is easier for a single female to get laid 10 times easier than a man.
But we talking about a female in a relationship and a guy in a relationship, or not a relationship, but a emotional connection.
But they're relinquishing those parameters, though.
It's been relinquished when we said we were having an open relationship.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So a guy.
Then it's back to the dynamic of women is getting dick easier than a dude is getting pussy.
So she in the street getting what she wants. Like, you gotta work for what you want.
You think the female is giving it up way more than the guy?
It doesn't necessarily it doesn't mean that she has to give it up like way more. She has more of the opportunities to do so.
The opportunities in her favor, bro. He's gonna have to go out and put in work where she just like.
And then also to even add on to where I'm coming from, try to explain to the bitches that you out in the street with why I'm in a relationship, but it's open though.
Yeah, you gotta finesse because like, bro's gonna be like, nah, I ain't really. No. A lot of
because then they can't even connect with you in a way that's emotional because now they know that you in a relationship anyway. It's like when a nigga,
I mean, because if you can't then say, I feel like we can't then say they can't even connect. If he like, I'm in an open relationship, we can fuck, we can do what we want to do.
But we know women are territorial, bro. If they know for a fact that he still has somebody that really claims
it's mad side bitches out here.
What you mean?
I'm going out.
More side bitches than it is side
I have a
bitches.
girl, she not tripping. We can fuck. A girl be like, okay. You ain't never had a John like, I don't care about your girlfriend.
No, I've had it happen. I've heard it plenty of times. But I know men are saying that to the female way more than they saying it to me.
But in an open relationship, I feel like I said in the beginning, to answer the question, they both have the same access. Now,
yes,
if we're coming, I feel like if you guys are talking about the guy shooting at the female, of course that's going to happen more. But I feel like the guy will go get his way before a female, even with niggas shooting. I'm in an open relationship, but I'm still gonna just go out there and get mine. I feel like his.
But I think you undermining the obstacles that come with the man having to get the bitch to begin with. Whether he's single in a relationship or in an open relationship.
Regardless, the niggas still get the job done.
That's true, but our obstacles are a lot more difficult than what a female has to deal with when she's just trying to find a physical connection with a man. If she wants it to be more than just a physical, she can do that. But her opportunities are at a stronger, like a bigger plethora than what we have as men. And then, like I said, I also think you're really undermining the fact of telling a bitch, I'm in an open relationship so we can kind of be cool, but we can't be cool in a way that you might want to be my bitch one day, because that can never happen for you. Like you said, there are plenty of side women out here, but a lot of them bitches stay around with the hope of supplanting the bitch that's already at the throne. A lot they work on false hope and think they're gonna be that. And nigga got them bitches.
That's the same thing a nigga has to do though. Like nothing, the dynamic of what the nigga does doesn't change. You just fuck with her, get yours, then you be like, all right, I got a girl, and you just keep it moving. As a guy, like you said, if I'm a guy and I'm like, yeah, you in an open relationship with another nigga. It's a lot harder for if a guy fuck. All right, then what?
You gonna keep fucking the bitch,
and then like you said, I don't want to do it too much. I might get emotionally attached. A guy can maneuver that and keep it moving back to my girl way easier than a girl can. With a guy where a nigga like, all right, we done fuck. Now I'm starting to get emotionally attached to this female, and I can't be with you. Then a guy where a girl like I'm trying to be with you, he can walk out of that situation like, all right, I just leave that and keep it moving to the next. I got my girl, the next open relationship I do with whatever female.
But I think you saying this with all you like your scenario and what you pitching right now is basically the female is acquiescing to every single thing that the man wants, which we all know that is not the case. You want a roller coaster with hoes. I don't even know. In my opinion, I'm expecting to go through a roller coaster ride with hoes when I'm in an open relationship and I'm explaining to them, hey, can we do something physical? But I really got to cap you off at a certain point because I'm in a relationship with somebody else. Niggas on the side that's fucking with the bitch in an open relationship, they don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They don't care if you cheating. Give me some pussy. Whereas the bitches, they might give a fuck about the parameters. Like, well, I don't really know. I don't know, woman to woman, that make me feel terrible. I've heard it time and time again. Bitches will fuck a nigga that's in a relationship and then feel bad about it later. But it's like,
feel bad. Bitches gonna fuck and bitches gonna fuck.
But then at the end of the day, it catches you know how women are, bro. Their morals catch up with them eventually. Then they feel bad about what they're doing. So at the end of the day, they stop it and men don't ever do that. Why would I do that? I'm like you said, I'm the side nigga. I get all the blessings, I get the pussy, the good times, and I don't gotta deal with you emotionally? Huh? Give me that. Whereas the females is like, I like that, but I also want to know that I'm your number one. Bitches love fighting for that number one spot in a nigga's life. So that's why I look at it. And my standpoint, I'm thinking it's not even close. It's not even a close race. It's all about the man having a more difficult opportunity because he has to still go out there and hunt and work, bro. No matter if you're in a relationship, single, you cheating, whatever you want to do, open relationship, you are the man. You have to hunt. Hunting is a sport. We get told no time and time again. I get told no when I'm single time and time again, and I get one and I hook, line, and sinker and take that out. I know I'm gonna get told no even more if I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm dancing. Yeah, baby. I mean, I'm trying to see what's going to happen tonight, though. I'm in an open relationship. Nah, I'm good. Already off rip. I'm expecting to hear that more. Whereas she like, hi, my name is. Can I have some pussy? Them niggas ain't giving a fuck about what that bitch doing.
Why are you giving? But see how it's like, the guy like, yeah, I'm in an open relationship. A nigga gonna give it off in a way to get his.
Yeah, that's what I was going. Like,
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's like
sort of
the female got it easy if a nigga on her, but the nigga don't got it hard if the female on him. If I'm in an open relationship and I'm in the club dancing on the song, I'm not gonna be like, I'm in an open relationship.
Yeah, he's just gonna move like
So y'all acting as if that conversation never has to get brought up?
It has to get brought up with the female and the guy.
Right. So who's gonna have more of a difficult time hanging on to what they have once that conversation gets brought
Because he's
up?
so used to being in that position. He's gonna be.
He's gonna have more of a difficult time than the female?
No, the female is. I feel.
Wow.
Because they both have to maneuver out saying I have something, but I'm gonna still fuck with you for a little bit. The guy is gonna do that way easier than a female is.
Bro, the female doesn't. The female just walks outside and men want to have sex with it. They don't give a fuck if it. They don't care, bro.
Right.
So I'm looking at it like, if a man tells, if you fucking a chick, you don't even know she in an open relationship, but y'all have connected. Then she lets it be known, she let you know I'm in an open relationship, so what we doing right now is capped here. Niggas is like, oh, hell yeah. I'm not saying that the female from the man on the open relationship isn't being told that, but she's going to have gripes about it a bit more than a side nigga with that open bitch.
All that shit is cool until the aspect of but now we got the nigga and the female. You with your girl in an open relationship and you like, yo, my girl tripping, I'm finna slide through. Then the nigga hitting you up like, the female like, he's trying to slide and she like, nah, I'm with my nigga. Remember, I'm in a relationship. We switch the dynamic. The nigga's like, man, fuck that.
No, he not. He gonna say that in the moment, and then when she tell you I'm ready 2 days later, okay, like bro, come on, we not. And we know how trivial niggas is. What you ain't gave your opinion on this? What you think? We gonna back.
I mean, you didn't get it.
Yeah, you got your opinion.
I thought you was going down the line. That's why I was like, yo, y'all shit off.
I'ma just wait.
But look, how I look at it, like I'm with Mike on the part of it's an even playing field. There, you both have the opportunity to do what you want to do. Can the woman potentially get more because just like dudes can just fall into her lap? Yes. But as a man in that situation, I'm not going around telling bitches like, yo, I'm in an open relationship, what's up though? What I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to the club like I normally would, I will be on dating apps like I normally would, and I would just hit up bros that way, and I would just be successful in that same way. And my being in an open relationship, if the conversation comes up, okay, but I'm not leading with, I'm in an open relationship, what's up?
Nobody should be leading with it.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if I'm the guy in that dynamic, I'm just telling you how I would operate.
Yeah.
I would operate as if I'm single.
Right.
And I would just go, because this is strictly a physical way, so I'm going to hit bras up on dating apps, so I'm going to go to the club, and then bag bras there, and then one night stands is going to happen, and then link ups is going to happen at her crib, when I'm on these dating apps and just hitting her up, and she's saying I can come through, that's cool.
Link ups is going to happen at her crib?
What you mean, why can't it?
I'm not saying that they can't, but you know how it is. A lot of bitches like to be invited.
Alright, well, a hotel or my house or wherever the bitch.
Then she gonna ask you why we hoteling. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not living with my girl.
At some point in time, the conversation is going to have to be had. Which this is where we differ. This is the only part that I'm differing with y'all right now. Y'all are saying that it's a success once you grab on hook, line, and sinker. You fuck. That's okay. I don't blame you for saying that's a success thing. But if you want to continue these connections that you have with these people and kind of keep them to the side,
I'm not looking at it from that. I'm only looking at it as like, I'm just fucking her. And then when she gets tired of it.
And this is why I
say,
once we continue the conversation, I feel like it's definitely easier for a guy to maneuver and use his. I'm used to hunting. I'm used to having to keep whatever I'm trying to do with this side bitch and my main happy at the same time. Whereas a female, I'm not used to giving my all to this nigga and I'm still finna have whatever I have on the side on the same page as me.
And I'm not saying a woman can't move the exact way I'm moving. I'm just talking about how I would move. Now my girl's gonna move how she wants, and that's who knows? This is random bitch we talking about. So she could be super aggressive out there, or she could just be passive and wait for dick to come through. I'm just saying when I would be dealing with bitches is, all right, we look it up, whether it's my crib, her crib, or a hotel, and then we fucking, and then it's just going from there. And like, I know you saying, well, where does it go from there? It doesn't have to go anywhere specific. If you want to fuck again, we can do that. Like, what's going to be?
But that's not. It's never. It's my whole thing is I almost feel as though when y'all give y'all standpoints on this and opinions, y'all just undermining the fact that conversation gets brought up as to like what are you looking for? What is this? What you got going on? A lot of times, bitches is asking you those kind of questions before sex even comes into play. Whereas with men, they don't give a fuck if sex is coming into the play in the beginning. I don't care to tell you what do you want? What are you looking for out of a man? I bet you fucking me. Okay,
that's true. And I just speaking from somebody
These hoes give it up.
That's true. Speaking as somebody who's had one night stands,
the niggas.
That's true. But speaking as someone who's had one night stands before, that has never been asked of me. Mind you, I was single at the time, but when I had these one night stands with chicks, it's never been. You got a girlfriend?
Put it like this. Let's be real. That's fine for you to say.
Right.
When you speak, talk about all your bodies that you know that you collected over the time of your adulthood. Have the majority of them been more than just one night stands?
Oh, they've definitely been more.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, in that regard, when you go out more times than not, at least, you're going to be dealing with women that want just a little bit more work and effort than just a one night stand. Which comes with that is conversations as to what you're looking for, what you have going on, and what do you see for yourself in the future amongst the idea of a relationship. Well, to let you know, I'm already in an open relationship, random woman. Okay, thanks. Bye. That's what the majority of you going to deal with once you get to that conversation with a woman as the man on the inside within an open relationship. The woman telling the man that nigga's like, that's cool. You come in at 7? Like, that's what's going on.
No, I get what you're saying on that side, but I'm saying, like, you can also find connections, and I'm not trying to nitpick, but I'm just trying to bring up another dynamic.
Right.
It's like, there are women that also are cool with, like, casual link-ups. Like, not, bro, I don't know about you, but I see bros on these dating apps where it's like, not looking for anything serious. I probably say that 1 out of 5 times.
Deep. Oh, right. I'm not, that's the thing. I want it to be known that I'm not undermining the fact that can occur. I'm just saying that the majority. Yeah, you said 1 out of 5 for the females. It's 5 out of 5 for the
137,000%.
If we speaking on opportunity, who has
I
more
said
opportunity?
from jump, the woman has the bigger opportunity. But I'm saying, as me, as the man.
I said if the thing, my answer, Jordan's answer is he feels like the woman because of the question that was asked.
Opportunity and capitalizing are two different things, though. My girl can have the bigger opportunity, but I can capitalize more.
But how is that you capitalizing more if she is bringing more the opportunity?
Because she may not capitalize, bro. Capitalize means you're securing. She has a bigger opportunity, but she's not capitalizing. She might not be capitalizing, but she might only go after. She might only strike 3 dudes. I might strike 13.
That's where I don't want to go into depth of if the opportunity comes, but she don't do it.
Yeah.
That's tough to say because you can fuck no bitches. Just like you said, I can strike 13. Jordan's saying, because with that, I agree with you of saying we can't say they both got the same opportunity, but the nigga gonna get more.
Right.
I'm only putting me in that situation.
I see what you're saying because there is like you literally prefaced it as I don't want to nitpick here, but just to give you a different idea as to what can occur in this scenario. There is a difference between opportunities and capitalizing. But like Mike said, I agree with obviously what he's saying more because I get what you're saying, but it's like at the end of the day, regardless of them opportunities being capitalized or not, that I have the free will to be like, yeah, no, I'm saying I'm the female in the scenario. No, yeah, no, yeah. Whereas with men, it's like, hopefully she said yeah, no, yeah, no. Like you're going to get more of that than the female having to ever deal with that because niggas are just here to fuck regardless. So that's why, because the question really was, who do you think it favors the most? That's
the one I started, but woman has the bigger opportunity.
So you saying it favors the woman?
Yes.
Well, I guess the conversation really started from Mike, because Mike had said, you said, Bo, you don't think it favors anybody.
Yeah, that's why I was like, with the question, your answer was like you agreed with me. You didn't. You agreed with Jordan.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Because that's why I'm like, when you first answered, you said like you agreed with me.
That's why, yeah. I get you right. You did actually start the conversation off by saying that.
But the thing about it's like the woman has more opportunity because we all know women don't have to do nothing to get dick.
Right.
But I think when you're looking at the totality of it, it's like that we're speaking about this random woman. She could go after all her suitors, or she could not. Are we gonna what barometer are we setting her at? Are we gonna just say she's going after everybody that comes to her?
We don't need to say.
We don't need to. I see what you're saying.
What's happening? Because if we do that,
It's all kind of variables
first
at that
thing
point.
you did when you were like, I'm talking about myself, you made it towards you strike more hoes than she fuck niggas instantly. That's exactly. You went with it like she might get 3, I might get 13.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could also not get as many. As
Yeah, right. I know you
That's
just saying that as
That's
a
what I'm
random.
saying. I'm like, we have to be able to take into account is we both are in an open relationship. She getting 6, I'm getting 6. The opportunity of her 6 are way easier than the opportunity.
Oh, yes.
And that's the only literally what you just explained is perfect. Is in a nutshell. It's like that's the only reason why I look at it being like this is going to favor you more because the moment we be like, all right, we in an open relationship, streets, ready, set, go. Niggas gonna be at the door like, what's happening? And I'm like, I gotta kind of go siphon surf for my bitches and hope that they pop up. Not saying that they won't because they will. Especially all 3 of us. We've been in the streets, we've been in the clubs, we pick and choose what we wanted, we've done that. So I'm not saying that it can't happen. I just know it's in my innate nature to know I gotta go out there with my bow and arrow and fucking hunt. I have to. My spear and hunt. I gotta do it. She ain't gotta do none of that shit. She walk outside as the fucking Amazon goddess and just be like, I'm naked. You niggas run through it.
That profile, I'm like, looking for cat.
That's the thing. And then when niggas get the preference of her being an open relationship, they go, oh, she really casual with it.
I wonder if they ever be like, yo, we not going over 6 bodies though.
What you mean?
Like when they're in that dynamic, I wonder if they set parameters. It's like, all right,
Oh,
we're not
okay.
fucking this. We're not going over this amount of people.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
I would want to know. That'd be some. I would love to get somebody who's in an open relationship.
Bro, it's such a rarity to find them motherfuckers. That's why a lot of motherfuckers that's in like open relationships or do the swinging shit or like a lot of
Older.
couples. Not even just the older swingers. Bro, you'd be surprised. A lot of couples our age that's like married or engaged, maybe not there with the kids yet, but they really connected. Mm-hmm. They go out to places and be like, shit, let's fish for a bitch and we gonna fuck tonight. And they call them the unicorn because a lot of women or a lot of men in general be like, I'm not really down with being like,
yeah, that's
that
third.
third.
Like I'm not your unicorn. Like all right.
I've definitely seen that on dating apps. Like, you seen that? I hate that shit. Like, bitch, don't try to be unique and special. They ask, they swiping on everybody.
They're saying that to everybody. Stop acting like, oh my god, they just want me to be part of their third.
Because I'm so bad. Like, no, bitch.
You know, you have a function with China and you're being with 2 other people. Shut up.
So that's why I think, like, honestly, it's a whole world of that shit, bro. Like you said, we scratching the surface on this topic. This can be discussed in so many different ways. Like Brandon brought up the idea. We didn't even speak to the swinger aspect of it. Like, that's really a thing, motherfucker. This swinger clubs.
Facts.
Podcasts I be listening to, people be calling in for advice. Like, where can I go for my, like, I live in New York. Where the local swinger clubs at? Like,
Right.
I could imagine paying, like, some money. Like, all right, David, go get some dick.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Let me
Like,
pay this couple of feet over.
I forget what comedian I listen to. There, it's like, yeah, I just be bringing prostitutes there, and niggas be like, yo, that shit, girl. Where do you there?
That's fair to say, nigga, because at least you in there, because they're not gonna let no nigga come in there alone. If that's the case, it'd be like, the ratio would be like 90 niggas.
Yeah,
and 2
bro.
bitches.
I be in there like, okay. Now my wife at home, she couldn't make it today.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that type of shit, nah, I don't want nothing to do with that. But obviously, I mean, to kind of cap this topic go. But the last question that I had, I don't know. I would assume that we all agree. But I said it part of one of my responses earlier. One of the questions is like, do you just think that it's a selfish standpoint, a selfish outlook behind the idea of open relationships? Like, if you capping it off in totality.
I actually don't think it's selfish to be in an open relationship. I mean, because this is how I see it though. If I'm in a relationship with another female and I'm like, it's open, I'm allowing her to do other things, I feel like I'm unselfish. I'm letting you do your thing.
That's
We can
fair.
share.
Yeah.
So my view is like, it's unselfish because I'm selfish. When I'm in a relationship, you not fucking nobody else.
Yeah, remember you was like, I don't give a fuck, you outside. Saucing.
Yeah,
You can't do that, bitch.
No, I can easily say I'm selfish. So an open relationship, for the nigga to have a girl and let her do other shit, he the most unselfish, foolish motherfucker I ever seen before.
And you gotta add foolish to it.
Foolish.
That's a fact. It's to me, it's an unselfish act. Because look what you allow.
You know what I'm saying?
You look what you and your partner are allowing of each other. You're allowing to explore other people physically. So to me, that's very unselfish. So I don't see that as a selfish act because you're giving your partner away. I know it sounds kind of wild to say, but it's like you are giving each other up.
Go ahead,
to
do
fuck
your
shit.
thing.
Like,
I don't give a fuck.
that's a very unselfish. I could never. I'm not strong enough for that. I could not.
I mean, personally, I think that it's a very unselfish act, but I think that it has very selfish results. I think the numbers that play out, the end game, the outcome of it is extremely selfish because at the end of the day, like, how long we gonna be doing this? If we in an open relationship, is you gonna be 65 out here fucking other 65-year-olds? We gonna be at the retirement homes?
Yeah.
If that's what they like, bro.
But
Bro, I don't.
and see with
I
that
don't see
with that man, I think that's even more unselfish. Like we've been together 30 years. I love you. I still let you do your thing.
But that shit sound goofy as hell.
It does.
That's what sounds goofy, but I don't think it's
But I don't
selfish.
think it's selfish.
I think it's
But
very foolish.
Me. They never thinking me. They always thinking go do your thing, go do your
But-
thing. I do mine, you do yours.
Why
We still
do
have-
you feel as though it's not me? Because at the end of the day, they looking at it like I want the idea and the security of a relationship, but I'm also still individually absorbed enough to really kind of prioritize my sexual appetite or my connection outside of this relationship. That I'm not, and we use the term selfish, and it has a very like negative notion behind it. I'm not trying to say, because I mean, there's certain things in life that you should be selfish for. You know what I'm saying? Going through single parts of just like your single life, and you kind of go
Before
through
you
your
have
whole
children.
phase, all that shit. That time of your life is meant for you to be
I said
selfish.
all day.
I say it all the
kind of
time.
selfish. I'm not ready for a child. This existence is still about me.
It's perfectly fine. So when I say that, I don't want it to be taken as like, damn, that nigga just shitting on him. Like, I'm not looking at it like that. I'm just saying I do think that there's that's the selfish part of it that I can't seem to wrap my head around completely, because it's like, you want a relationship, and to a degree, you want the monogamous parts of relationships that come into play, but just not all the way. In my opinion, in my hearts to hearts, I look at it like, alright, that's a bit of selfishness, regardless of how you want to admit that or not. If you want to run with the negative portion of that, then go ahead. But I just look at it from the beginning. I don't give a fuck if you're 25 or you're 65.
Right.
That's just how I feel about it. But I mean, like I said earlier, I don't want to be looked upon it the wrong way. Different strokes for different folks. I just know
Get your
anybody.
toxicity off.
Yeah, anybody that's dealing with me would know, and I think anybody that's dealing with these two niggas would know nothing like that would ever occur. So it's not even a point of conversation to have. But it is important to have that conversation on this platform here at the Problematic Gentleman Podcast.
Well, we open about shit sometimes.
Yeah, you know, sometimes. That's a good way to put it. So, get into the second topic here, fellas. Second topic is
What?
septic.
Septic. You got
system.
fucking pipes. The pipes in this house about the toilet shit about to fuck up shit.
So, get into the second topic that we about to discuss today. Meeting the family of your significant other. Something that I think we all like to act as if we are surprised and happy about, but then low-key dread at the same time. I love going on a stall run where I don't gotta meet none of my host peoples. I love that shit.
Shit.
Damn, what you wanna do it earlier in the
I mean,
game?
I don't give a shit if they like, you gotta meet my dad and my mom. Alright, motherfucker.
This nigga different. I don't want nothing to do with that. Keep giving me pussy, and I don't want to ever meet them motherfuckers. To the time I have to meet them, and then I have no other option. I'm a good guy though. When I get around,
I'm
it's
fucking your
cool.
daughter. Nice to meet you, Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, like that shit, bro.
So get into this first question. Do y'all feel as though it's important to meet the family of your significant other?
Me personally, meeting her folks,
Yeah.
no, because it's how I explain it gonna sound funny. I'm so close with my family, like the people. If you know me, you know like how I talk to my pops, how me and my mom communicate. So for me, with my significant other, meeting my family, that shit is really important. Because of the dynamic I have with my family, I'm super close with them. So
Right.
if we're in a relationship and we building towards being we together, marriage, whatever, I want you to meet my family.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't really tripping off meeting yours. Like if you're a person like, yeah, I don't really think it's a big deal. I'm not like, I gotta meet your parents.
Right.
That's not something that I see as a big deal when I'm with someone. But meeting my parents is definitely a big deal to me just because of how close I am with them.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So the relationship and the connection that you have with them, it's important to you to a point where it's important for your people, your shorty, to meet them. Whereas it's like on her side of the court,
I don't like. It's not like
is.
nerve. Like how you was like, I can go as far as I can before I meet. That's not a big deal to me. I can meet your parents on the first link because if I'm seeing you, we in a
On the first
relationship,
link?
Like for example, if she like,
Oh, you do
if I'm like, yeah, I'll strike. She like, yeah, I'm finna, my parents gonna come over and make breakfast. I'm gonna make breakfast. I'm gonna sit in there like. Then the next day she like, what happened to Mike? He goes me.
I
You would
see
do
what he's
good,
saying
yeah.
though, because it's like, all right, if you feel like introducing me that earlier, it's on you. What happened after this?
Bro, I've stopped talking to females because they wanted me to meet their parents.
Why?
I've stopped it. Bro, it was one time I never forget getting a quick story time. Quick story short. I mean, long story short. This is the wrong way. Long story short. I was fucking a bitch. I met her off an app. I think she lived in like Philly. We had a date. Date went well. It was like a quick date for the first time. Second go around, she came to the crib. That's when we was in the older apartment. Watched the movie. I fucked that night, and I knew she was acting a bit different after we fucked in a way where she was probably trying to connect a bit more.
Yeah.
So we was trying to plan this third link up, which was going to be the next weekend. It was some club in Philly that did this thing called Drake Night, where they just play all Drake records or some shit like that. I forgot.
I remember this situation.
Yeah, and she was big on it because Drake, like every typical bitch, loved Drake. She wanted, that sound like some hater shit. Drake, I don't hate you, nigga. I ain't player hating, but every bitch loves you. This bitch was like, yeah, so we gonna go to this Drake club, and then I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So then she was like, all right, cause she was in like Bumblefuck Jersey, so it was a bit further out, and I planned on staying the night. I knew she lived with her peoples, but her peoples was gonna be out of town. She told me that earlier in the conversation, and she was like, oh yeah, just to let you know, like, it's a chance that we might not be able to sleep in the same bedroom because like my peoples is gonna be here. I said, I thought you said they was gonna be out of town on like a family vacation or some shit like that. And she was like, no, they gonna be here, but we can still hang out and do shit like after the show. It's just you gonna be sleeping in a different bedroom. And I was like, I'm not coming if I gotta stay with your parents. I'm just not doing that. I don't know you well enough to know them, like to meet them. Yeah. And she got pissed. Like she called me a fuckboy, a piece of shit. I was like, I just don't want to meet your parents. Like what? I'm not against meeting them in the future at some point in time if we continue talking. Right. But bitch, I had sex with you one time and we went out to go get pasta the other time. Like I don't know you well enough to be on some state of night and wake up to their
well enough to be in you, not know what the fuck you about, bitch.
I'll be in there, shit. I'll be there like, so I'll be good, Mr. Johnson. The breakfast good.
This nigga feels different. You really out here slide devil in this shit, nigga. What about you?
The question again, like, is the connection, does it matter with the parents?
Meeting the parents is important.
I think it is. What the time period doesn't really mean that much to me. I can meet them earlier, I can meet them later. But I would like to meet your parents at some point to kind of see what you come from and get a grasp of whether you have a good relationship with your parents or not, because you can tell me anything under the sun.
Yeah.
But it's always a red flag if you don't have a good relationship with your parents. So me seeing that,
really? You think so?
To me, it's a red flag. I'm not saying it's one way in favor of the other, but to me, it's a red flag. You say, because nigga, that could be daddy issues. We've all dealt with women with daddy issues.
I mean, I feel like it's why they're not cool with their parents.
Obviously, I have to get the context, but that's why it's a red flag. A red flag doesn't mean she's wrong. I have to figure out why it's a red flag, so we have to expound and explore.
I actually, as I've grown older, I kind of learned that there's a point of attraction to females that have daddy issues.
Oh, it definitely is.
Because right, it's like it's a bit easier to deal with.
Y'all fun.
Because not even just simply that, but almost for me, I've noticed, and I'll let you obviously continue on your answer. I just wanted to go off on a quick little tangent here, but it's like I've learned that like the idea of what a man is supposed to be in their life, they may not have a full grasp and understanding of it.
He might not be the proper archetype of what it should be.
So coming into the door, if I have the idea or the notion to take you a bit serious, now it's like shit. I kind of get the mold. What I want,
100%,
and for her to respect and understand that, and then she'll be like, "Damn, this nigga really is fucking with me because I have."
Y'all some control.
Manipulative control.
How is that control?
I try to find girls with daddy issues so I can turn them into what I want.
That's not what he said.
He taking it the wrong way. I did not say that, bro.
Niggas said I kind of like that they don't have, and you know. I can be the prototype nigga, so I can mold her.
Yeah. But when I say mold, I'm not looking at it from a. That's what I'm saying. This word.
You got emotion, bro. We not gonna do that.
Like B said on the previous episode that you was trying to fight him tooth and nail on. Show me that you coachable.
Bro, I just don't understand that.
All right. Well, back to what I was saying.
Back
to what I was saying. It's like I don't have a problem with meeting, your parents, whether early or later. Now, I'll give you 3 scenarios, right? And the first scenario is like, and I said this on the podcast when I was hooking up with Shorty, you know who, and it's just like, can I meet your mom? Bitch, no.
Right.
And that just kind of turned me off because it's like,
she asked you?
Bro, we was in a makeout session in the parking lot. I'm about to get some in the parking lot, and then she was like, can I meet your mom? No. Bitch, your tongue is in my ear right now. Keep chill.
Why we having this?
You're right. So that I think we may have went on one date.
I feel like that was just her like wanting to be with you.
Okay, maybe, but she fucked it up.
Which is fine. God, I hate talking to this nigga about that because I try to tell him.
I know,
I think he dubbed her way too early.
I did. Yeah. I don't care. It happens. I
mean, that's a big reason to dub somebody early. I would definitely.
I was young and I was being, it was cause for pause.
So you had 2 other scenarios.
The second time was I was over this chick house and it was kind of a situation. Well, not necessarily because her mom was not home. She told me her mom was not going to be home. So we were cool. We had went out dates before, but we hadn't fucked yet. So I was at her house and I'm probably like, we fucking, and her mom come home, so of course nigga jump out the pussy, and then she gonna say like, Well, we in the basement, and so she like kind of goes to the bottom of the stairs, like, "Hey, mom," and then she's like, "Hey, I ain't gonna say your name," and then she's like, "Yeah, this Brandon, he here," because she knew about me. Her mom knew about me because she would always talk me up to her mom.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
don't be
"Hey, Miss Johnson,
How you doing?
yeah." Like, so there was that. So I don't. Is that meeting the parents? Because she needs to.
Hell nah.
That ain't.
You had zero plans on
I
that
mean,
occurring. Like,
when I say meeting the parents, I mean like
Right,
introducing
you're in their face, and then it's like when I'm in a relationship, in previous relationship, when I actually met my ex's parents.
Yeah, so it was 3 different levels.
Yeah,
tiers
right.
that you
There's
went
3 different tiers. That she met mine first. She met my parents first, and then I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I met her parents. And I just think it's a good thing to see where your significant other comes from. With their under. I'm not saying that means everything about who they are, but you kind of get a little bit of a gauge. I mean, you still know them the way you know them,
It's
but
like cookies in this motherfucker.
the fuck.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
just
But no, I think it's just you get a good grasp on who somebody is by meeting their parents. That's still again that you're your own individual.
Yeah.
Meeting their parents just helps you get a grasp on what you come from.
I agree, and I do think that from that standpoint, like you just said, that's a good way to put it, because from that point, it is important just to get an outlook as to what you might be dealing with. Like, I'm not against that. I know that that's important. With me, I feel as though, like, it's important to a degree at a certain time, at a certain, like, level of whatever kind of connection that y'all have, how serious it's been.
Cookies in this motherfucker. Like, Cookie Monster nigga, like.
Niggas started getting hungry for a snack. But, I just went grocery shopping, so it's cool. But, like, I think that the connection that you have with somebody has to be at a certain point for you to feel comfortable enough to then move into meeting the parents.
Cool.
A lot of motherfuckers, like you said, I do think, and I think that's why Shorty was so open to the idea of me meeting her parents in such a random and quick way. That, but then also, like Mike said, not saying that my connection with my parents ain't like hers. It's just different. Like, she's so well connected to her parents that she don't look at the idea of linking with the parents as a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm around these motherfuckers all the time. Just come through, whatever.
Yeah.
Not saying that you look at it in the same way, but it's like these motherfuckers is a part of me. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
See, I'm the opposite. I'm so close with my parents.
I Lorraine, Uncle Mike, I did not mean to just call y'all motherfuckers.
if you get to that point with me, I'm the opposite. It's like, all right, now it's top tier.
Yeah.
Because I'm so close with them. I talk to my pops like, yo, bro, I just was with a jump, fucking something.
Right.
So, because it's been times where people have met my parents like outing and they like, oh yeah.
They just go about. That's what I'm saying. I've never been in those scenarios, so that's why it's different for you. You haven't either, right, B?
What's the situation?
Where he just said, I just slide somebody through a chick that you just hanging out with, and they'll be like
fuck
passing
no.
by. And
But see, for me, that doesn't count as meeting my parents.
Oh, right,
If you
right.
just see them, now I'm like, mom, dad, this her.
Mm.
No, but
Okay.
my thing
That's
about the parent thing is meeting parents means different things to different people. Some people could show their parents off to their significant other early and be like, this don't mean nothing. And let's just not even say their significant other. You can be somebody you dating and then you just happen to meet their parents. Yo, come through the crib, we eat, we having a barbecue. Yeah, my parents is here, but don't think that means shit.
Yeah.
Because some people are like that.
But
Like
that's way different than
but-
doing it with your significant other.
that's true.
Right,
But I'm
that's
saying,
different.
but I'm saying that some people gauge them showing off their parents to people as different. It don't mean nothing. It's like, yo, it's a function going on in my house, but I've been consistently fucking you for 3 months. And then let's just say I'm a dude doing that. And then I say, yo, shorty, we been fucking for 3 months. And we fuck with each other and we date. And we kind of almost exclusive for it.
Right.
So come over. And my people's is here. And then she leaves and she goes in her group chat. So that her group chat, they're like, oh my God, he just let me meet his parents. And it's
But it
not
don't run that
that.
deep
It's
for
not.
you.
It's not that deep. Everybody come over here and be my parents.
That's why I think they kind of give you more context on it. Like, furthermore with that, Mike, I can speak for B on this too. I've never really had, in a way, like you just said, I have a chick come through, we slide by, your parents sit on the couch, they hi, you gotta speak when you come to somebody's household, and y'all go upstairs. Within my household, I never had that dynamic. Like, it was either you there to meet my mom, like, officially, or you never even want to see my mom until you there to meet my mom officially.
Right.
But I think because the way that as you got older, the idea you have a company and shit like that relax so much where you could just have slides and chicks that you wasn't really taking serious like that come through and maybe see your parents and pass them on some high and by shit. I don't think you never had it like that with your people either, right?
If I brought you with my parents, it was with intent, and it was because I was fucking with you like that.
That's why I think you hit like y'all both. I think y'all both said it in a way where it's like everybody has a different meaning as to what it means to have you around their parents. Like, some motherfuckers, not saying that it means one thing or the other. It's like they're important to me, but the way that you meeting them isn't the way that you think you might be meeting them. But cool,
You
like
read too
whatever.
much into the fact that you're meeting. And I'm not saying
It's
obviously
the aspect of how you
right. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's not me. But there are people who it's like, yeah, you met my parents, but they don't think that means shit.
Right.
Because we ain't shit.
We ain't shit.
So
That's why like with the words significant other
Mhm.
in this conversation means a
course.
lot.
It means a lot.
Because it's like, yeah, you can be my chick on a Tuesday, but you're not my girl. So if you're not in the relationship with someone and it's the high and by, and then you go home and be like, yeah, I made the parents be together, doesn't make sense.
Right.
Did y'all have that conversation? Then no. Don't see. A lot of times people are in dynamics and situationships or whatever you want to call it, and discussions aren't had about what the fuck is going on, and that's when people get confused and shit goes left because it's like you're not having a conversation about what the fuck is going on. So it's like you meeting this person's parents. Have a conversation with your other, like, yo, what does this mean? You brought me around your parents. For a lot of people, this is some sort of milestone. Is that for you? Because if it's not, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
Just
cool. I
let
have
me know. I
context.
just want to understand if that's something significant that you do with people. That
Yes.
I don't even think you have to do that. You don't even have to be like, yeah, I'm coming over, I'm meeting your parents. Just know what you are before you even go over there.
I mean,
That's a way to spell it. But
how do you know if you don't know?
That's what I'm saying.
It's because going to somebody's house or meeting the parents, that is something that can be spun. You can ask somebody, what are we? And they can spin it like, yeah, everybody, when you meet my parents, it's cool. You my girl. If you find out what you are before the parent aspect even comes in, it's a lot easier than meeting the
decipher.
parents, then trying to find out.
Yeah, oh, I
but
agree,
that's
I
if
agree.
you- But that's if you find out. But you go into a situation and you don't know. Even if I was in that situation, I would ask my partner like, you brought me around your parents. What does that mean for you? Because that's a milestone for people. Is that for you? It's okay if it's not.
He's saying if
But
you
let-
don't know in that
Yes.
context. I think it's important so then that way you can get it.
That's why I say I think that is the problem. If that's like seeing something that you really don't understand, like seeing something with a relationship and not identifying it. Then the problem come and you can just easily be like, yeah, you know I still love you, girl, but I don't text you back about it.
Well, but that
So the problem isn't meeting the parents and knowing it's a big deal or not. For example, you with Shawty when she was like, yeah, just come over and we can sleep in different beds.
Yeah.
And meet my parents. You honestly was like, okay, we not together. Why would I do that?
right. That's
So
basically
if you would have went over there, stepped on them, then it's like, damn, I don't know if she's feeling me or not. That problem was easily avoided just from you like, nah, I'm not on that because we not together.
Yeah, right. Like I before even getting to that
Before
point,
you
I was
get
like,
to
nah,
that
we not on that. Yeah.
So I'm saying most of the time this is a female thing. I don't think guys ask the what are we question. I meet the folks like, yeah, I just met your dad.
Right.
He love me, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think guys, they like, all right, there, we fucking.
Yeah,
A
right.
female can go again, you walking up the steps and he like, yeah, this is Michelle. You like, and you go upstairs, do your thing, then you leave like, oh yeah, this nigga like me now.
Right.
I met your dad. I'm saying it's easier to ask the question before, because
I agree.
easily be
I
like,
agree.
yeah.
I think we were just playing to a degree devil's advocate because some people don't understand the importance of
Don't
communication
understand that. That's
and
why-
they'll just let things go. Like you're giving the solution to that. Where he's speaking like I get it, but some motherfuckers know that solution and still won't do it and just go into it and be like, all right, so what does this mean?
Yeah, that's why again I'm saying like in situations confusion can take place, but to prevent that you could just have a conversation with a significant other that can take that fucking much time and clear shit up. And fuck that, you're not a significant other yet. And have a understand with the person you're dealing with and be like, oh, what does this mean? Cool, okay, no love lost.
Yeah,
Keep
you want
going
to
with
move
it.
on to the next joint. So getting to this next question here with this specifically. Does your family thoughts, like the way that they think, what they think of Shorty that you bring through, does it kind of like maneuver and change how you might feel about the person that you're dealing with, whether it is your significant other or if it's just somebody that you sliding over that might have the potential of it down the line?
Take this. I say yes and no because I look at it. My parents have never steered me wrong. Even if I told them, and I ain't brought every broad around them that I talked about, but even like in telling my parents about a person, if my mom would say, well, that's not necessarily good tricks or something like that, I'll pay attention and I'll listen. And she's never met her.
Yeah.
But I brought, someone who I was in a relationship with my parents and got nothing but good feedback. And that person has been around my parents multiple times at functions and events and holidays and all that type of shit. And I've never heard a bad word. So it's like, that's assuring, but I'm always going to go with I know first because I know this person on a level that you don't. I know that I see this person in a way that you don't. So it's like, even if you have some cause for pause moments where it's like, well, Brandon, this person does this. What do you feel about that? It's like, yeah, I understand that, but you only see one side of this person.
One side.
You really only see a vertical slice.
Yeah.
They're really on their best behavior when they're with you.
Right.
So it's like, you're not really seeing this person in a real way. So I get what you're saying, but I see this person what you're speaking to isn't the issue that you may be making it.
Right.
So it's like, it's more so, I definitely take heed to what my parents say because like, they haven't put me in the wrong direction where it's like, well, this is maybe a bad look for you.
Right.
So it plays a part, but what I say goes. It's the person I'm dealing with. But it's like because I have more time with that person, I see them in a different way, and I see them full time. It's
easier to call the shot.
Yeah, I can call the shot with without reproach on that shit.
Yeah. What about you?
For me, well, to answer the first part, if it's a slide, no, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah,
like,
you gonna be
she
who
a
you
slide.
are. Mm-hmm.
I don't care about it. So if you don't like her, what the fuck I care about?
You
If
just
she a slide,
you confirming what I already knew.
This is why I don't have her around because of the things that you don't like. Her shit good though, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But for my significant other, it would have to be why you don't like. What's the reason you don't like her to my parents or my family? Because again, I'm really close with my family. We talk every day, so they're going to already know about her or whatever to a T in depth of what I'm going just because of my relationship with my parents.
Yeah.
So if they then meet her and they come like, yeah, I don't like this or this kind of thing in the wrong way, I'm gonna take it definitely into consideration because they gonna already, like I said, they gonna already know. My relationship with my family, I've never really met a lot of people just in my life that had a relationship with their family like I had with mine, just in general. So if they like, my mom or dad come be like, yeah, I don't like this shit, I'm gonna be like, why?
Yeah,
and
why?
we're gonna have a real conversation to where I'm gonna be like, dang, I ain't see that. Now I'm gonna take it and
Because they provided you that
especially if
context.
it's something you ain't see, because it's like it's one thing where it's like, well, I know she do this, and it's like she do this because of this, and this is what happened, as opposed to, well, damn, I ain't peeped that.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you
So
for letting me know.
if they like, yeah, we don't like her style, it's like,
Fuck with that.
you know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
not petty,
But it's
yeah.
like, I don't like this, I'm gonna take it, and I'm not even gonna be like, all right, you don't like this, fuck you. But I'm definitely gonna take into consideration and
Yeah.
see it for myself. Like we said, at the end of the day, I'm gonna make my own decision.
I take the same, right, as you should. I take the same approach with this as I would just taking advice from anybody that's close to me in life about my individual shit. Like, when people give you advice, you're doing yourself a disservice if all you do is take what they do and do exactly what they told you. You chop it up because you know what's best for you. You take some of it in, you prioritize the parts that you know work for you the best, and then you decide to move on from it from that point, but then also make your own decisions mixed in with it. Just don't blatantly do what somebody else tells you. Right. Same scenario applies with the idea of my parents giving me advice about who I'm dealing with and their opinions and their thoughts on shorty, because like B was saying, you only see a capsule of this person, of who they truly are. You're not getting the full picture of what they provide me on a daily basis. Right. So the parts that you're seeing, I can tell you that's a 13th of what really is the problem, really is the case. So I'm gonna take your advice because, like Brandon said, I agree. My parents never steered me wrong, especially my mom. I always trust my mom's gut instinct when it comes to women that I'm dealing with. You feel me? Because they tend to know and have a good idea as to what's right and what's wrong, and it's like almost like they on that what was that shit? It was the old lady that used to do the psychic reading on Miss Cleo. Yeah, it's when it comes to women that you're dealing with in your life, they almost play that role because they can kind of see things like, I know it's early and you probably not going to really buy in what I'm saying, but this isn't good. Right. She has some good qualities, but the things that you really need, she ain't really got that, and I can tell you that now. It's like, all right, mom, you just saying some shit. And then 3, 4, 5, 6 months pass. You like, damn, mom was right. Exactly. So because I've had multiple times of that occurring within my life with my mom, I definitely listen when she talks. Now, my relationship with my dad is a bit different because we're not directly close, but in a way that I am with my mom. But I can go to him and talk about certain shit, and he gonna give me the male's aspect of it and the male's outlook of it. It's just with my mom, I can deal with her advice directly because she's a female. She's going to give me the female outlook and some shit, and I can kind of take that, run with it the way I want to. So I do think it's important to listen. It's just not. You gotta make sure that you cap it off at a certain point. Don't make decisions.
Of course, because we adults here. You can't be letting your parents make decisions.
100%.
So it's like you gotta take constructive criticism and be like, is what they're saying have validity to it? Does it have merit? And is it really worth a damn? And if it is, you take it into what you know about this person and go from there.
But if
it's not, you gotta rock out with your relationship.
Because the last thing you want to do is then make a decision predicated off of thought process that your mom or your dad had, and then you look at it down the line and you feel like you regret it, and now you try and play blame game and point your finger at somebody else. Fuck all that.
I see it because at the end of the day, your parents are going to always choose your side.
Of course.
100%, bro.
For example, if you come to me like, yo, I got a shawty, yeah, I give you advice. I might even be like, man, y'all niggas got girls who go out and be like, man, don't cheat, bro. Do your thing. But if you do, I'm never gonna be like,
Damn,
yo,
this nigga out here
shawty,
wildin'.
be out here fucking somebody
Bro,
else.
just
She asked me, I'm a lot.
understand, ladies. So you like, I just want to preface this: future wife, understand, or future significant other. You gotta understand. Whatever I do with these dudes, like they're gonna always preference me to do the right thing. But if I do the wrong thing, they're not telling you.
I'm Ray Charles.
That's why I don't believe your
I'm
friends.
Ray Charles to the
That's why I don't like.
If Jordan come on bridge, you gonna follow?
Yes. If, like, that's why, bro. That's why the females' friends, my significant other's friends, I keep you at arm's length because it's like, yes, hey, bro, and all that.
Yeah.
But it's like if my dog get like trained while y'all in combo, y'all not gonna fucking tell me.
They got gonna say it.
Oh,
Gonna smile in your face
oh,
next
Hey,
minute.
bro, we had a good time, right, girl? Yeah. All that, no.
All my partner girls, I be like, sis. As soon as they dump you, I be like, fuck you. Like, I'm not your friend.
Understand?
That's fake.
I'm always encourage my homies to do the right thing, but they grown men. So
Yes.
if whatever happened, I got their back first and foremost. So if you looking for honesty, don't come to
You
me.
ain't gonna find it here. That's why I say it's important to, like, we speak on that to say we know that our parents are in our corner 100%. If we getting advice or getting some sort of information
Always
from our
for us.
parents, yeah, it's always for us, and they're gonna speak to us in a positive light. But we could actually be doing some shit that's fucking up the scenario,
Yes.
and your mom or your dad just wants to blame Shorty because she's not you. Well, then that falls on you to take that advice and be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing this and take it, because my mom don't know that I'm out here fucking up too.
Yeah, if your bro come to your girl as a man, is he trying to fuck your girl?
If your bro,
Come to your girl, yo, I'm just coming to you as a man, sis.
that nigga no longer is my bro.
That's
Yeah.
facts, but does that mean he's trying to fuck your
There's a chance that he could be.
I mean, I wouldn't think you're trying to fuck your girl. I guess
It's dirty back to a degree,
Yeah.
right?
One, I know you know what it is.
I mean,
This nigga.
I don't think that. I wouldn't say it's dirty, Maggot.
It's not what?
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's dirty,
say
Maggot.
He wild.
This is because I see dirty Maggot as
Bro, he's telling on you.
telling on you, talking about a nigga to
See?
get some pussy.
Oh,
Your
so
first thing that you asked me was, is he doing
Nintendo
the fuck?
man and
If
help
I-
him.
But listen.
No, because
listen,
this is
listen,
different. That's
listen,
this is
listen, let me
completely
finish.
unwarranted.
This
You
is
spoke
why.
to that in a warranted way. This is unwarranted
You
for
asked,
no reason.
You asked.
Shorty asked me for advice.
Do
Don't
you
do
think
that.
he does it to try to fuck your bitch? I said no, so I don't think it's dirty macking. Because me, I think dirty macking, which is why I didn't think what Jordan did is dirty macking. You think if you say something about a nigga to a girl, you dirty macking. I don't think that because I'm a nigga. I give advice. Hoes that came to me about a nigga. What should I do in this?
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, damn. He probably, because I'm a guy.
It's not my fault that I
He
just so
probably
happy to
is
be fucking
doing
that
it.
bitch.
Because if that's the case, us on here like these niggas is dirty. We dirty macking them in your sense because we're talking about them to make.
They're
people
not
be like-
asking, bro. The
But
camera's
listen,
asking
listen,
questions.
we're talking about a nigga like if a nigga in the club and he tugging on a bitch real hard, don't fuck with them type niggas because they lame. In your sense, I'm dirty.
That's not
macking.
in that sense because we're not talking to anyone specific.
But we're telling women. We always say we're telling women to help them in dating life. Jordan talking to that girl, he wasn't saying like don't fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
He was just giving her advice. like,
I'm not
homie.
rehashing that. We
No,
know
of course
we're-
not. But I'm saying you brought up the
do
scenario.
you see how I'm making it seem like just because?
No, but we're
just
talking about the
because-
situation where it's like your homie goes to your girl.
Again, if
You
he
don't
going
think
to
that's
my
dirty,
girl,
man?
he's not trying to fuck her. If he going to her like, bro, you need to stop cheating. Say it like this, yo, you need to stop cheating on her. Blah, blah,
How do you know
blah.
he's not trying to fuck her?
That's what I'm saying.
How do you know he is?
But that's the problem. It's a loose variable that we don't know.
It's a don't know.
That's
So,
why I asked
because
Izzy.
we don't
That's why I asked
know.
Izzy.
Because we don't know, we can't just say because we don't know he is.
That's dirty macking
He is
because you're
what he
shitting
is.
on another man to the bro. Nigga,
But
anytime you're
listen-
shitting on another man, the intent don't matter.
That
You're shitting on
isn't
another man to a
dirty
bro.
macking though. The intent makes it dirty macking.
See,
That's not-
the only
You know
reason
where I
why
stand.
I'm different on this is because the context and my scenario and this scenario that you just randomly brought up are two different things because the context is completely different. What's occurring in the plot is completely different. In that scenario, what you were saying, a homie doing that with your boy's girlfriend, like your homie going up to your girlfriend and being like, yo, this nigga out here doing this, that, and the third. It's like Shorty asked me for advice and I opened my mouth. He just randomly saw her her in the street was like, yo, let me talk to you real quick.
But
that's unwarranted. So,
like,
in my opinion, I'm gonna look at that. That's why I look at that.
This is why I say it's not. Because, again, I ain't never had none of my homies do it to me. I ain't never.
Yeah, I hope
But
not.
I know niggas that, I know it's niggas out here that's like, bro, you need to stop cheating on that girl, you got a good one. And it's an ain't shit ass nigga, you wanna call him that, he like, no bro, I'm good. And the niggas go tell her like, yeah, the nigga cheating on you, and she leave him, and he like, I told you, bro, you had a good one.
Bro,
I'm trying to teach you a lesson. It's niggas that.
It's niggas out here.
So he's not dirty man.
What had me laughing was the tweet on Twitter was like where a nigga like, bro, you got a good girl, and it's the nigga from Get Out who was when he grabbing his shirt, like, how you know?
Oh yeah.
But is that a nigga he knows?
Which
In that
mean?
sense, because
In this scenario?
me saying to Jordan, yo, bro, you got a good girl. It's completely different.
No, that's just niggas on Twitter being dumb. I'm not
That's what I'm
saying one way or
saying. That's
another.
why I said me saying to Jordan, like, bro, you got a good girl.
Mm.
When I know the context of y'all situation, it's completely different than you at the mall with your girl.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
Like,
oh,
it's
yeah, of
crazy.
course, of course.
She give him a hug and he like, what's up, bro?
You got a good one right there, bro.
That's completely different. But even in this scenario that we brought up, it's not even like one of them things where he didn't say anything about the nigga already being on some, yo, you got a good girl, don't fuck this up, bro. He just randomly was like, yo, homie out here wilding. Like, yo, what if y'all didn't even have that conversation prior? What if he's not that kind of dude? That's what I'm saying, because it's so unwarranted. Like, that's an extreme unwarranted thing to do. Like, you don't have to do that. So now you're doing it, bro. There's no reason for you to even mac in that way or even do anything of that nature. Why are you talking to my bitch like that? So I can see why somebody, that's passable to dirty. I see what you're saying, but in my opinion, I view that as passable as dirty macking because homie just came out of the street. He came out of left field out of nowhere. Nigga jumped out of the stands like, I'm playing ball now. Like, what the fuck?
Niggas out playing ball.
That's crazy as hell. But get into this next question here. Do you feel as though, and I'm kind of interested in how y'all respond to this. Do you think that the engagement that you have with your significant other's family is important? And we're going to really just key on the significant other portion of this because I know y'all niggas, like you said, you open to going over to Slide's family crib. You probably don't give two flying fucks of the engagement with that. But like your significant other, your chick, do you think that the engagement that you have with her family, not her, but her family is important?
Yeah.
You do?
I feel like it's important because, well, I think it depends on her engagement with her family. Honestly,
Right.
I feel like if she like, I'm not somebody that's close to my family or whatever the case may be. Now I'm guessing with this question, her parents they in her life.
They're engaged, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
they
yeah,
active.
it's definitely important because that's somebody you're going to be around a lot if you're dealing with her and she's engaged with her parents.
Mm.
It's something you're gonna have to do because I know you're gonna have to do it with me. You're
Right.
gonna have to be around my family.
That's true.
So it's really important because if think on the other foot. If you got your girl and she around your parents and you like her, every time she just awkward, she don't blend in, she's sitting by herself. We having game night on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit get loud.
And your girl just in the corner. You like, come drink. She like, no.
I'm cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She gonna
everybody
stand out
heard
for
the
us.
side out. Like,
You
yeah.
gonna look crazy with my family if it's Thanksgiving and we playing game night, playing cards,
Yeah.
and you in the corner.
Cause y'all already with her, without her, y'all already engaged a lot
You know what
together.
I'm saying? So it's gonna be like, hold on. Then you gonna come back like, yeah, she just chilling. Like, you gotta engage.
Right.
So if I'm there and they having game night, I can't be the nigga like, nah, I'm not really trying to.
Yeah, you're not trying to be the reserved, too cool nigga. Yeah.
I ain't really on it. Because you know what you're going into if you know your girl.
Right.
So I think it's definitely important.
I think it's important again. Here's to an extent again because like one, like you said, if it depends on her relationship with her family because I'm not gonna fuck with them more than you do.
Mhm. Right.
So
right.
it's like let's just assume you have a good relationship with them. That I can engage. Like I can, for an example, I say when I was with my ex for Christmas not this Christmas, the previous Christmas was
Yeah.
that 2019's Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
2019's Christmas. I was at her parents' crib from 8 a.m. to like 9 p.m. And it was random motherfuckers. Obviously, I don't know none of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I know her mom, but it's like random motherfuckers coming over and carolers and all this type of shit. And I can engage. I'm an introverted person.
They was like, joy to the world. B was drinking hot chocolate at the window. Like, y'all doing great.
I'm an introverted person, but if thrown into a social setting, I can be social. So I like being to myself. I can be secluded and all that shit. But thrown into a social setting, I can do that. I can engage. I can talk to people I don't know.
You can flick that switch on and off. easy.
On and off like a light.
Yeah.
So it's like I can do that, and that's not a problem for me. So it's like I can be engaged with my girl's parents or whatever. But it's more so it's like how much she fucks with him. That's all I can really go off of.
That's fair to say. You don't want to over-engage.
Yeah, like, and if you level with him, if you at a 5 with him out of 10, I'll be a 5 out of 10 with him.
I'm gonna match your energy.
Yeah, like I'm not going above and beyond, especially if you're not.
Yeah, so that much look kind of crazy. Like,
yeah, well,
I'm super happy to be around y'all. Shit, like I'm really not.
I'm not even like that with these motherfuckers.
Yeah, so I'm not impressed. Like I care. I want my girl to know I'm engaging with her family. But what if they don't like me? I also I would want my girl's parents to like me, but if they don't, it is what it is. Do you fuck with me? And am I being disrespectful to your peoples? If not, they might not like me, dog. Like, so it's a chance.
Right.
So it's like, if they don't like me, I'm not gonna cry myself to sleep. I would hope that they do, because I want us to have an easy, smooth dynamic. But if they don't, it's just like, well, I can only be me. I'm not gonna put on the front. I'm gonna be a respectful person, but I can only do so much. And I'm not trying to fuck up your situation with them, but I'm going to be me at the end of the day.
I personally think it is important to have a cap on that, to have a maximum as to how far you're willing to go. Like B said, it's extremely important to match the energy in which your significant other showcases with her feeling to begin with. You don't want to overextend yourself. I start there. I do think engaging is important because it shows that you do care about her preferences, and how her family roll, because they're going to be different than your family. So you got to interact and show that, like, I can be open to talking to y'all. I can be expressive. Like, I'm not just introverted in my room, or just, I don't want to be clinging to her hip. Like, if she go make her plate or go make my plate, I can hold conversation with your pop and your brother about sports in the living room for a good half hour.
Take me with you, y'all know that.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that
Like,
time. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, because then that comes off like, all right, he need to be up under her, and if she not around, then he can't even really engage with us. I don't like being that kind of guy. I would say so much so I've learned to cap it off to a maximum, because in my most recent long-term relationship, that was probably the most engagement I had ever done with any women in my life, with her family, to a way where I was going on like all the summer trips with them. We would go to North Carolina, we do whatever the fuck. I was always over there, people, and I had fun over there. But it's when you engage in that way so much, for me personally, it's things in a way that you don't expect when shit don't work out, because I almost looked at them as family. But at that moment, when I first left that situation, I didn't understand and respect the fact that once I was gone, whatever the fuck they were showcasing me was no longer.
Now, I have a question for you, because if you have been through it, I want to know how. Because we all know with interracial dating, have you had a situation where the parents didn't?
Oh yeah, they didn't really.
How did you handle that shit? I always wondered, because I've never, like I said, I've never been with a white female in a relationship standpoint to where every female I had that was black, that been around parents, is like, oh, you got a black girl. I've never brung a white female home. So with that dynamic, and it's like, damn, I care about her, she care about me. But like, have you been through like, damn, the parents don't fuck with me at all? Is it because I'm black?
For sure.
How do you handle that?
Honestly, I always played along the idea of what the person that I was dealing with. In those scenarios where they didn't like me, that was like my first, like, well, it was a portion of her family didn't fuck with me on my first relationship, like my high school sweetheart. And then like that on and off situation that I talked to y'all about that I had for years, her people really didn't fuck with me. That was like the stories for days on that. I mean, bro, it got ugly in certain situations. I almost knuckled up with people, did knuckle up with people. Like, shit got ugly. So I've dealt with it. It's almost like, because I know what comes with the territory, I go into situations expecting it to a degree. Like,
so
I don't even be bothered by it.
You said you on defense already? Like, when you go into those situations?
I wouldn't do that, because I know if I do that and express myself in that way, it can come off that way, and it can come off wrong.
Then you bring it to the like, what's up then? He like,
nigga.
He like, how you doing? You like,
yeah, so I'm not trying to be on that type of time.
You grip her pops, like, I understand that ain't no bitch.
Just let it be known. But I do walk into the door prepared for bullshit to pop off, because I never really know. It's different for them to know that, okay, my daughter, who is a Caucasian female, really likes black men, but now this black man that she really likes is in my living room.
But
it's
sure,
a whole
her
different
family's already
dynamic.
warmed up to that. It's like, you probably weren't the first black person that whoever dealt with. And there may have been situations you have or haven't, but it's like
those two I was.
But
the first and the
first two. Well, I'm not saying relationships. I'm sorry. Those scenarios that I brought up, where I really dealt with issues from it. My high school sweetheart, I was her first, and then that rando kind of situation for a year, I was her first. Now, my most recent long-term ex, I was not her first.
Right. So it's like easing into.
Yeah, but even then, like, it's still a dynamic that they don't deal with on a daily because she had 2 siblings and they wasn't into it the way that she was. So it's different. You know what I'm saying?
And I think a good thing you said, I don't even think we noticed you said it. It's like, it's different from when your daughter like, yeah, I date black guys. You like, all right, whatever. Then he at your door.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Right.
When it's like, you open that door, it's your girl and it's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tattoos.
Yeah, all
It's
of
like,
that.
damn.
But I make sure to stay cognizant of that because I understand everybody's not like me and as open to the idea of it as me.
Right.
But the thing I also think what favors me in that type of shit, my mom don't give 2 flying fucks either. So I come from that kind of household, so I already know how to accept bullshit and take it for what it is, call it out for what it is, and move on. But that's why I said, speaking to my last long-term relationship, it was weird because that engagement level, I went from those 2 things that I just explained to y'all, which was terrible, and that engagement level to like, these motherfuckers brought me in when I was with her as if I was their family, which I was like, I ain't never dealt with this type of shit, taking on family trips. So it's like, when we broke up, it brought me back to a harsh reality that it's like, even with that being the case, I'm not gonna find it a lot, but even with this being the case, it's not really, I'm not gonna say that it's not real, that's fucked up to say, but because when I left, I'm like, damn, they don't really, like, y'all, I don't gotta be with her. I understand it went wrong, but y'all don't fuck with me, and it was kind of like we can't, motherfucker. Like, all right.
I remember we had those talks after you broke up, and it's like no matter what, bro, like they're always on her side. Like, we had in-depth talks about that. It's just like you gotta understand, like they're on her side no matter what. So that's their daughter. You're not their son.
Yeah.
They don't have they have an attachment to you through her, but it's like whatever she say, that's what it is, bro. She's painting the picture however she want to paint it.
But I think the reason why I was
not saying she painted you in a bad.
No, she didn't. But the thing is, even if there, like I said, when there's wrong, we spoke on it earlier about our parents giving us advice. When there's wrongdoings done on both parts. As a parent, it's easy to just call out what that motherfucker's doing and not really speak as to what
you would hope
doing.
that they're like, yeah, you're my daughter still, but you did this one.
Yeah, let me help you understand how you should do that moving forward.
Right.
When I take all of that into account, because my mom can be peaceful and cool with my exes, but she doesn't do that because, for one, they're not even in the picture in that way, and 2, she understands and respects that boundary. So when I saw that happen with me, like, I even when you was telling me that shit, I knew it, like, damn, it was just different because I've never been accepted in that way. And then just to kind of be dropped like that, it's like, damn, I wasn't looking at y'all like that, but it is what it is, I get it. Right. So you move on from it. But I mean, that's why I said for me personally, engagement is important, but I've learned from that last scenario that make sure that you cap it, the connection in which you have to cap it, because you don't want to get too involved into it.
Things get end, bro. You never know what can happen. That's like, even with me, like I probably, shit. I'm trying to think who saw each other more. My ex, did I see my ex's people more, or did my ex see my people's more?
That's a good question.
I think I may have seen her people's a little bit more, maybe.
You stayed with them and like on a beach trip and all that shit.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. We went on a whole beach trip together. So you know what? I did stay with them. So it's just like they were more familiar with me. But it's like at the same time, of course, nobody's going into it like this shit going to end. But you have to keep up like defenses. To me, at least how I look at it, it's like, bro, you don't know how that shit could go. It's like obviously I'm gonna engage, I'm cool with y'all, but it's like I'm not going to enthrall myself with you with my emotions because they
can be forced to be withdrawn at any given moment.
Right? Why would I super attach myself to your mama, your dad, or your brother? Like again, it's not even like we're married at this point. We're engaged. Yeah. My 10-year relationship was like 1.5 years, so it's like it wasn't that long for me to be trying to forge bonds. Now, when it gets to that point, it's like, yeah, okay, we 3, 4, 5 years in, then it's like, okay, let me try to set up.
I shouldn't be going anywhere at this point.
Right, I shouldn't be going anywhere, but we can try to set up these attachments for long life bonds.
So is it? Well, my question with that I hear y'all both say that I kind of want to have y'all indulge more on. If it's like I'm gonna put a cap on it, and then we get further, I'm gonna open that cap up, or is it like I'm gonna just we gonna be together, I'm gonna meet your parents, and if we keep going, we keep going. This is why I asked that cap. At a point, is it like, all right, we've been dating for 1 year, I'm cool with your parents, I ain't gonna go too deep in because I don't know if we're gonna last?
I just look at it, and this is like a really subtle way and probably goofy, but I look at it like your girl is the burger and her family is fries. Like that, your girl is the main course and her family is ancillary. Like they're not the focal point, and they'll never be the focal point. But it's like as time goes on, you'll grow a bigger bond with them, and that's through time. Like Jordan's had 5, 6, however many years with his ex, he had a real bond. He was going on trips and doing all that. But it's like when it was done, it was done. So it's like I'm just of the same school where it's like, all right, here I don't want to necessarily say cap my emotions, but I'm not going to pour everything into it. I'm going to be cool. We're going to have a nice time, but it's like to look at you as my family, it has to be more time put in.
And that's kind
You're
of
just an extension of my girl at this point.
I wouldn't say I disagree with that, but I'm a person, if I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm gonna fuck with you, I'm gonna fuck with your family.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be like, I'm with you, but I don't know if we're gonna end, so I'm not gonna fuck with your family. I feel like putting your emotions, fucking with them too early, that's not even something that your girl can control. If I'm like, alright, for example, a little brother. My ex had a little brother who I used to fuck with. That was my nigga. I wouldn't even say I fuck with him that much. I talk if we was on FaceTime.
Was it crazy age difference?
I chat. He was what, 16, 17? He was high school.
Yeah.
And we used to talk on the gram sometimes. He was a little basketball player. And I never looked at it like, alright, I'm not gonna fuck with this little nigga because we might not last. It was like, if I'm fucking with her, me and the little nigga talking is cool. Now when we broke up, it was the same thing. It's like, damn, I don't talk to the little nigga.
Yeah, the connection is no longer there.
And it was what it was. I didn't even view it after that fact like I probably shouldn't have had them conversations with that little nigga because the chances.
Yeah, at that point you at peace with what you had with it. Like,
Yeah,
it's cool.
so I feel like because I'm able to just move on from it,
Yeah.
I never. And again, putting the cap on it is like focusing too much on the word.
Yeah. I was gonna
But
say, yeah.
I never look like, because I might not be with her anymore or my female.
You don't want to allocate.
I'm not gonna put the time in with the female.
That's fair. That's what you're saying.
If I'm with her, I'm fuck with her family. If they fucking with me, now again, I'm not like on a Tuesday like, hey, Miss, that's how you doing. I'm just reach out. But if they like, yeah, we talking whatever, I'm never gonna be like, we only been talking for 6 months or whatever. That's my girl, but I ain't gonna fuck with them like that though. I'm gonna see how it goes a little bit more.
Right.
We gonna just handle it how we handle it.
I see what you're saying. I agree with you to a degree. I just look at it like, from what I've learned in that last scenario, I look at it the way I look at it now to protect my peace. Because it's like, when I fuck with you, I fuck with you.
Yeah,
and it's like, even if things go wrong with your daughter, it's unfortunate, sad that it didn't work out, but we have our reasons as to why it didn't. But you still cool peoples and I fuck with you. When that feeling's not no longer, like they're not reciprocating that feeling anymore and it's no longer there, now I'm like, damn, like, so y'all really didn't fuck with me.
Right.
But they don't even have to explain themselves. It's like, I can't. Nigga, like, you're not her.
You're an extension of my daughter.
Which I respect, but keep that shit over there. Because it's not real love. My family wouldn't look at you like that. My family don't get down like that. I get why you get down like that, and that's okay. Don't fuck, but keep it over there. So I think because of how I know how I move, and I also feel as though now at this point, it's kind of almost easier to deal with women that, and I'm not saying I'm out here handpicking women that aren't as close with their family. They have a bond and a connection, but hers ran really deep with hers. Like her connection with her family ran extremely deep with hers. So when I got myself invested into that, I had no option but to kind of invest myself that way.
Right.
Whereas with other women, they kind of surface level, they love their family, but it's not like that. You know, it's not like, oh my God, Jordan don't really be doing shit with him, it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Nah, I barely do shit with him in that way, so cool. I don't give a fuck what you do.
Right.
That's easier to deal with because then it's gradual. Like the joint I'm talking to now, I had just met her sister and her sister's husband, and it was fun. We had a great fucking time. But it's just like at the end of the day, I could tell that it's like it's no rush. And you would think, I mean, I've been talking to her for about 4 or 5 months, so it's been a bit. But it's like it felt natural.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like as long as it feels natural and right, I'm all for it.
It's not like me though.
Yeah, like then I'm all thrown off. Like, why the fuck you doing this? Like you trying to lock me into something, bitch?
Yeah.
Fuck with a contract that I'm about to not sign. So it's like, so that's the type of shit that I guess I get worked up on, and it's like I take that shit serious. So just to end this off, because I'm kind of curious as to how y'all feel about this. This is like a very it's like an old man date kind of thing where it's like you're expected to do this shit, but I don't really know how I feel about it now after already going through the process. How do y'all feel about the idea, the old reliable, is when you taking the chick serious, your significant other, it's time to propose?
Asking
The father for the graces of his daughter's hand. I'm sorry.
For me, I feel like you should. I am.
Okay.
I feel like it's a respect.
I can tell by B's face. I think I got the answer. But
But I feel like it's a respect thing. Again, it does have to go with a lot of how I was brought up. You know what I'm saying? With marriage, I take it really serious. So Even though I fuck.
Your fucking man wife.
Yeah. Because again, I take mine serious. I don't take theirs serious.
That's a fact. I respect the
Pause
toxicity.
for the
Like,
course.
I take that. If she don't respect him.
That's fair. I get you.
But I think you should. Well, I ain't gonna say you should, but I will.
You will.
I
You plan to.
Now, it's funny if I ask him and he like, no.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Facts. But I am gonna get it. Like, I'm gonna give you the option. I'm gonna let it know. Like, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna ask or whatever. Like, I'm not there yet. So
Yeah, of course. You don't really
But-
need to be thinking about it.
yeah. But I definitely think it should be done.
I don't know why you just think that I'm about to say.
I guess by your
Because
face
it's
and
a
your
face,
response,
you know.
yeah, the expression is made.
I mean, like the traditional sense, if she got a dad in her life, because I've dated women who didn't have a dad in their life.
Right.
I've dated women whose dad had been deceased or not around, or all of that. I've dated the spectrum of that. So it's just like, if her dad's there, and that's the question. So if her dad's there, I would, but that's just never even come to my mind. Like, yo, Mr. Johnson, I've really been feeling your daughter, and I've been like fucking on her consistently for like 5 years.
See what I'm saying?
I'm just playing. I mean, honestly, out of the respect thing, I'll probably hit her dad up and be like, ask her to meet and be like, yo, I'm feeling your daughter. I'd like to ask her for your hand in marriage. But it's just like, that's just like customary, bro. Because if the nigga say no, I'm still do it. Fuck you gonna do?
That's why
You can't beat me.
can't do a goddamn thing.
So it's like, I get it, I understand, I'm gonna do it, but why are we doing this? Because your answer don't matter.
It don't. It's all about old customs. Is what's
I
expected
think
in
it's a
life.
respect thing.
Yeah, and that's what they make it.
Okay.
Like for me personally.
So you gonna pay for one dad? Because it's customary for you to do that.
Now some of them offer to chip in, which is highly appreciated.
No, it's customary for you to pay dad. You doing that.
So for me, I will. I think it's important, but once again, like B said a bit in his own way, to piggyback on that is like it depends on how her relationship with her father is.
Yeah.
If her father on some ain't shit, he's in the picture, but he on some ain't shit. They don't really have a deep connection. It's been like that since however old she was in her life. Fuck that nigga.
Right.
Like no disrespect. That was bad disrespect. But you feel
Fuck
me?
that nigga. No disrespect though.
Y'all at the dinner table and it's Christmas time and she like, Daddy, you pass the butter, you passing the butter.
Nah,
I'm not-
I didn't touch the shit on that table as soon as the word daddy come up. Cause then we gonna have a death stare off at that point.
It's like, I got her over here. She said, Dad.
So for me, it's like
She meant sad.
it's kind of like it depends on the relationship. I'm going to do it if she has a close relationship.
It's gonna happen.
It has to happen. I'm going to do that. I just, me personally, I don't favor it. I don't think that it's a necessity. I think that it is a very old style kind of like approach, and it's just out of like Mike said, it's mainly for respect.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, like B said, like what is the purpose of the question? If you tell me no, I'm still going to do it anyway. So it's like
And that's awkward if you say
this is just
no.
for show. Yeah, it is. Like it's
No,
just
young
for
man.
show.
I appreciate
Fuck
you.
you, Dad.
Like, it wouldn't be awkward to me. It's like, alright.
Oh yeah, and how you doing? Yeah, exactly. I'm about to go still have my setup. Everybody.
I'm gonna go fuck you.
Are you staying with her? Are you staying with her if you ask her and she say no?
Hell
She said no.
no.
Hell, but what did she say? Just not right now.
Hell no.
If I get on the knee, it's time we done.
We done, bro.
I'm not bringing the mariachi band and the nigga flying the fucking
We
plane in the
done.
sky.
I'm
with
gonna
the
get
little
up
flag.
off that one knee and dust that knee off like, bitch, you done dirtied up my
I
pants
creased up
for
my
this.
forces for you, bitch.
Out of 2000 in this motherfucker. Nigga, what? And it be weird because some motherfuckers, women, I've heard conversations where women
I
had,
declined their stage.
yeah, they try to explain
I'm just
why
not
they think
ready.
it's important to still stay around, but it's like, bro, there's no coming back from that. I don't see it.
No.
I don't see it.
If I don't, like, but
That means I was at a point in this relationship that you was not.
Yeah, like.
yeah, I'm invested more than you are, and that's
Yeah,
a problem.
Or
I'm
I'm just
You know,
interested in
like,
you not.
And that's a
But
scary
she's
feeling.
like, I know I want to do it, just not right now.
Nah.
Like when I went into it, when I asked my ex fiance, I knew it was like 95% yes. You just always, because you're so nervous to ask that question and pop that question, you expect like, damn, is there a chance of a no? But even in your hearts of hearts, you know. But like you said, and I've seen it tear. Like I get like secondhand embarrassment when I'm watching them videos on Twitter.
Bro,
where
I do
niggas
too.
on that
I
video.
gotta turn from this shit.
I do that shit.
bro.
I gotta turn it off because I can't see this all the
I'm
way
done
through.
with this lame ass nigga.
That nigga be in the mall.
Turn
and
the right
shit.
this up.
Like, how you? My thing is, bro, to the people who have gotten denied on their marriage proposal, you ain't know that. You
Right,
ain't know that
bro.
going in, bro. You ain't know that was a possibility,
But
bro.
some niggas
Like you said, some niggas love harder than women. I love this girl. Shit, I'ma ask her.
That's true. I mean, it's sad that it work out that way.
I gotta put you through hell, man. I gotta put you through hell before.
But I will give the women credit that say no, because some bitches will say yes and leave it be.
I have to break you first. Like you have to be broke. Nah, and I'm saying it lightly, but it's like I'm going to have to put you through hell so I can know that you fucking with me for real.
Yeah.
Like I have to break your spirit in a way.
Y'all
so
some
it's like,
controlling ass men.
alright.
Yo,
I on some shit. I ain't gonna say it was just funny the way that B served it up. I'm not gonna go that harsh with it, but I understand the point in which he was
I'm
trying
gonna
to
give
come
you the
across.
OG, the soul punisher. Like you gonna feel everything. Like,
Cause you do need to see if your chick is breakable or not. Like, yo, you don't really fuck with me like that. If the pipes is bursting in that way, if pressure bursts pipes in that way with you, ma, you can't fuck with a nigga like me. Cause at the end of the day, we gonna go through all kinds of phases in life where we gotta work through shit. So it's important. You don't want to hound your bitch with that shit.
No.
But you want to get an idea as to where she
You
stands.
just gotta bring some bullshit her way.
That's
Yo,
crazy.
I was coming home.
They gonna say that's toxic, baby.
That's their favorite word. I don't give a fuck about these nuanced bitches.
I don't agree with you in that.
But I'm just saying, like,
I'm
you gotta put. I'm not.
some bullshit.
You're not necessarily intentionally, but you're gonna go through things together. You're gonna go through hardship. And it's like, well, how well are you gonna weather this storm? Are you gonna falter?
That's what's most important.
You are overlooking the reason.
Because if it's all good, if it's all cookies and milk, the entire relationship,
but
how you
I
gonna
feel
just
like you're overlooking the context
What's
on
the context?
how what goes wrong. For you to say, I'm gonna just bring some bullshit in 3 months in, because me, for example,
I mean, that's me joking, but I'm saying we have to go through something.
If I'm a guy, I mean, it's you joking, but if I'm a guy and I'm with my shawty and I peep the game of like, all right, she's doing things like, oh, it's a test. That's gonna turn me off. Than us just going through shit naturally.
But see, if you speaking to your girl saying you passed the test, you're wild.
Yeah,
No,
like you're not verbalizing that
but
at any point in time.
you just be mentally in your head like, I see you.
But see, even that, like, if you go, and I'm not saying you do, if you go through a situation, you're like, I've been going through 3 months, I'm gonna just splash some bullshit just to see how she do. Then I'm like,
Just take a little bit of lipstick one day and put on your shirt collar one day.
see, like that shit is like, I'm
He's joking. He not
He
serious.
is, but it's niggas that do that. It's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Putting niggas through a test is what a lot of people
I'm
do.
not saying a test, but I'm saying in real life situation, real life is going to happen. And like, I wouldn't feel comfortable going into a situation asking a woman for her hand in marriage if we didn't go through some real shit. I'm not saying I'm going to orchestrate chaos in my life, but I would like to know that we have went through something that's going to test our commitment, love, and time with each other. Then I would feel better and more solidified about the commitment I'm going to make to you. I'm not saying I'm going to rain down a hailstorm on what we had, but I would like to see us go through things. Just like I would like to see me and my friends go through things so I know our friendship is tested.
That's why. That's what I'm saying. It sounds blatant, like you about to just throw some toxic shit her way just to see if she can kind of mash through that shit. It's nuanced ways to it. Not saying that you going out looking for it is how to figure out to start this trouble for her to get her way through. It's like, naturally you're gonna hit like obstacles that you got to take a real big leap over together. Can you do that with me? So I need to see if you can. Once I see you can, then we good. We can kind of continue on. But a lot of niggas be jumping into relationships and connections with bitches that haven't gone through that yet. So then when you hit that wall, it's like, oh shit, I didn't know this existed. Well, nigga, she's a human just like you. It's going to exist. You just never prioritize it happening. Now you sitting here looking at each other dazed and confused. Like,
Still a couple
on your
dollars
last
person,
big
you're
bit of
like,
life.
you gonna leave me with $50, but I just took it because I needed it. I put it right back. Don't do that, brothers. That's wild.
Yeah, you done wild for that shit. But ladies and
You ain't need that $50 like that.
man, this has been the 16th installment of the Problem. I'm tired of the motherfucker. Problematic Gentleman podcast. Me and this motherfucker providing consistent heat. We got some things cooking up, man. We've been talking to a couple people, different kind of podcasts.
Stop it.
We got some shit going on. I'm just letting the people know what they need to know.
No, I'm talking to Sourpuss over there.
These niggas.
So we got some shit coming. Like I said, we filmed in Brooklyn. We got that shit coming, but we got all kinds of shit for y'all, man. We really trying to work.
Y'all know where to find us.
These are the two.
Spotify,
These niggas.
Apple. This is
Yeah, go ahead, bro. I don't even want to do
YouTube, Apple, Breaker, Link. Just know wherever the internet is, that's where we at. This nigga said LinkedIn. I bet you podcast. We talked to this shit. But look at that business plan.
Bro, don't start, Mike. Don't start. Not on camera. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to appreciate y'all for tuning in as much as you possibly can. We doing what we can to grab more viewers. Please subscribe. Please follow. You know what I mean? Tell your friend, tell your mom, tell your ex that you don't fuck with anymore. Tell your current significant other.
Tell
your
Shorty in
side
the wheelchair.
dude. Yeah, tell Shorty in the wheelchair, even though she gonna try to tell us that we gotta have some sort of moral tools. Bitch, I'm here to fuck you, you in the wheelchair. Tell everybody that you know and love. Tell your barber, tell your hairdresser, your nail salon, you have all of that. Whatever the fuck you got. Tell them all. I don't give a fuck. We here and we trying to take this motherfucker over. So just wanna let y'all know we love y'all, man.
Aaron Yeager was not wrong.
You stupid, nigga.